The national debt is spiraling out of control. Trade wars are causing record volatility, and inflation could make a action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings. And what if you could do it tax and penalty free? Find out more by requesting your free 2025 gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company Goldco. Plus, you could get an unlimited instant match on bonus silver if you qualify. Call 855-969-GOLD to learn more. That's 855-969-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Royals fans, don't miss a second of the action this season on Crystal Clear FM with Denny, Jake, Ryan, and Stu.
One hop to Junior. He backhands. Long throw. Got him.
We're with you for all 162 on 96.5 The Fan. And if you're in Kansas City, you can listen to the play-by-play on your phone and desktop with the Odyssey app. Plus, it's all free, easy to use, and easy to find us. You're listening to the home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan's NFL Draft Party, April 24th at the Landing in Liberty. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
The storms got you to sleep last night, and that intro music got you right where you needed to be this morning on a Wednesday. Nice Wednesday morning. Glad to have you. We're one day closer to that NFL draft, which is insane. I do have a really good question for you later on. I know you can see it in the rundown if you scroll down, but Mac and I were kind of throwing back some ideas this morning because something hit me on the way here. It wasn't one of those helicopter things. By the way, I know I'm going to sound old and annoying, and I don't know if, like, maybe I've gotten to the point where I've gotten to this age of my life. Woke up this morning, entire car.
What are you, Tony Soprano? Woke up this morning.
I wish. But, yeah, I woke up this morning. I look outside, and those, like, helicopter things.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Everywhere. All over my car, all over the yard, all over my sidewalk leading to my door, and then I'm driving down Knoll, and it looks like the scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Where
how'd the stadium site look? Good?
Yeah. Well, I didn't go that far.
Oh, you didn't go that far south? Okay.
No. And the whole road's covered in them. So are these things, like, always in this abundance, and I just never noticed? Or because I was a kid, I like to get handfuls of them and throw them in the air and yell helicopter.
Helicopters.
Which now when you get older, if you put your hands in the air and yell helicopter, it means something completely different. And
it's scary.
Yeah. You do that behind closed doors with your significant other.
Or on the beach in North Carolina.
Is that what Bill's doing?
I look like it.
And I don't know, man. Like, is this like locusts? Like every 12 years there comes a mass like exodus of them?
No, I think we're at a point now where I've realized it over the last week too. I'm like, where are all these things coming from? And then I realized my neighbor's tree. So I've been spending a lot of time during the day trying to blow them back into the neighbor's yard because I don't want those things. Because what they do is they get into the ground, and then I spend my summers ripping up saplings and pulling up trees and pulling up all these baby oak trees that are starting to grow because we have all of these things that are going around. But no, I'm with you. I don't think it's an old man thing. I think it's just an observation. Like, there seems to be a lot more of these things that are out there today than there ever have been before. They're all over the house. They're all over the outside. They're all over the car. They're all over everything. And I said to you guys before, I don't know if it's like an every other year thing or whatnot. Like when I was living in Texas, pecan trees only put out nuts every other year. And so one year you'd have a really great crop of pecans, the next year not so much. And so, the locusts come, every 17 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. So we're probably due for another locust attack here before long. But, those things are everywhere, man. I don't think it's an old man conversation. I'm constantly vacuuming the inside of the house to get all these things out of here. And I'm trying to blow them back into my neighbor's yard where they're coming from.
Like getting my doormat and like whipping it outside the slide door.
It's
dogs
everywhere.
Are bringing it in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're everywhere right now. So, you just got to be careful not to let them grow into trees because then it'll ruin your lawn.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
Terrible.
Well, that stinks.
Like, I bet when we get out of here and go to our cars, there will still be at least 40 helicopters stuck to my damn Buick.
Mm-hmm.
I drive a Dodge Stratus. I don't get it. Maybe on the golf course yesterday, all of the greens. Not that it mattered for me. Not that I
that'll really screw up your putting line.
I could probably use it. But I mean, good Lord.
Can
man.
you take a blower out there on the golf course and blow your line away, like that, so you can have a clear line? Like, is that legal? Like, could you see Tiger doing something like that?
Well, and I'm not rich enough to play like on like really, really nice courses where other people than Great Life buy them. So I've thought about this, and I don't know if that's like a text line question for like when everybody wakes up. But I thought about buying like a little portable leaf blower.
Yeah, they've got like, small ones like for your car and stuff like that,
Especially like in the like early fall when the leaves start to fall and they don't go out there and like manicure the course and then like you lose your golf ball, but you just drifted barely into the rough. Mm-hmm. Just see like the other guy goes to his ball and I'm over on the other side of the fairway just like
right. I'm sure somebody would complain that you're making a lot of noise out there with that kind of stuff. So
100%. Those guys still exist on the course.
Oh yeah. I mean, Max sent a video yesterday. I guess Momo sent it to him because it was a couple days late. So some of the elderly get stuff a few days late and whatnot.
That guy.
Guy's rolling on the golf course with others because he's not playing fast enough. I understand the frustration on the golf course. It's part of the reason why I gave it up, too, because you have to deal with others, and I'm not great at dealing with others in those type of situations and whatnot. Like, continue the pace of play, man. This is a society we're in. You've got to continue that pace of play. And if you don't do it, then you deserve to get your ass kicked. And so what if you get beat up in front of your wife?
Well, it's like, dude, that guy got popped.
I mean, big time popped, yeah.
Shirtless and then walked the other direction. If you missed the reference that we're bringing up, so there was a video, and I think it was in British Columbia. It's definitely across the pond.
Yes.
And
but British Columbia is north of here in Vancouver, so that's Canada.
Sorry. Still waking up. In Britain is where this happened. And the guy was slow playing.
Oh, in Britain they play that way too? I thought they were all very proper over there on the golf course.
And Louis says we do it in Lawson, carry a small electric blower. Thanks, Louis. So I can't. Louis is my source. I can do it. But no, guy's playing slow. Guy behind was like, hey, man, can we play through? Guy that's playing slow gets attitude. It then leads to this thing. This guy, like, squares up and is like, dude, you want to keep running your mouth? He keeps running his mouth. Well, boom. And then his wife gets out of her car, puts her, seltzer down. What are you doing? You don't hit somebody in the face. You do, and they don't stop. Like that. But that's the thing is, like, there's a fine line of etiquette and annoyance on a golf course. Mm-hmm. And if you have two guys and the group in front of you has four, you get to a point where you get to the same tee box. Hey, guys, go ahead and hit through.
You just let them go through, right?
Yeah. Okay, I was going to ask. Same thing as disc golf. Yep.
Right. Yeah, just let the people go through. Yeah. It's not that hard.
A lot of
you have to do
rules.
hey, could we play through? You have to catch like the whole thing.
And if you have to do that, then the group in front of you probably know is going to be, whatever. And then, like I was telling you guys, what happened early on in the season of golf, we went out to Hoots Hollow, me and my buddy Mike, and all of a sudden we're on the 18th green, and he's like, I smell some, cabbage. And I'm like, yeah, I hear cabbage. And the guy behind us had, drove his cart from 16 to 17's tee box and just started ripping this guy a new ass. It was just like, who do you think you are, tough guy? Tough guy? I'll end you. Like, literally stuff like that. I was getting ready to fight him because the guy in front of him was slow playing, and the guy behind him didn't like it. And instead of being cordial and respectful, they just started barking at each other from back and forth, and then finally they met at a point, and they had a discussion, and it wasn't lovely.
Yeah, it goes from 0 to 100 with golf bros, man.
Which I've never understood. Guys
crazy.
that are clubhouse managers, grouchiest men you'll ever meet in your life. Hi, how you doing? Yeah.
Well, they're dealing with the general public every day too, and I think if you're in a field, no matter where you are, like the DMV or a waiter or somebody like that has to deal with the public every day, you probably go in with your dukes up already. I mean, you probably did days when you were working at the barbecue joint, right? Where you probably went with your dukes up, like, all right, I had a bad day yesterday, man. I'm tired of dealing with these people. I
just went in numb 95% of the time.
Yeah, well, but that's what it is.
Sorry, Robin, but you knew that.
But you're dealing with these people. You're dealing with humans. You're dealing with people, for God's sakes, all the time.
You're retired and play free golf and answer a phone.
Yeah, but still, you're dealing with humans, and everybody's an ass, and everybody comes in there and they think they're the only ones complaining about something or the only ones that want this, and eventually you just get to that point where you're like, I just can't handle this anymore, and I'm done. Yeah. I don't really care about your problems anymore, man.
Because most of the time when you call a clubhouse, it's, hey, how you doing today? Great, how are you? Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if I get a tea time in the afternoon.
Did you check the internet?
Yeah, I was wondering if I get a tea time in the afternoon around 1 o'clock. I got 1:15. How many? Okay.
Yeah, 4. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, it's common courtesy. If you see a twosome come up behind you, get the hell out of the way if you're a foursome. It's not that hard. It's not that big a deal. It's an extra 2 minutes on your day or something like that. Don't get out there and try to throw down with people,
These
man.
situations barely happen. Of course. Most of the time you go out, like yesterday, went out to the course, was in a group of 3, played fine. It was totally nothing.
No fights on the course yesterday?
No
Wow, how about that?
Yep.
I wonder if it's like those stadium fights, though, where they've been going on for years, but now we all have cell phones, so everybody's seeing them. And I think that's ultimately what it comes to, is that everybody has a cell phone, and if somebody's making a fool of themselves anywhere, somebody's taking out that phone, and they're videotaping that, and they're trying to get clicks on social media, because that's what we do today, right? That's exactly what we do, is try to find ways to get clout and get, love and get likes and all this kind of stuff. A fight on the golf course with a fat guy with no shirt and his wife, like, that's going to get a lot of clicks on the internet. People are going to view on that kind of stuff. That's just what we do, as a society. We love to watch a train wreck. We love to watch a car wreck. We love to watch a fire, That's why you look at the news, like house fire. That affects nobody, but we're all watching it because, ooh, pretty colors. It's on fire. It affects one family in this whole thing. Yeah, that guy. So we like the train wrecks. It's why we like the Dallas Cowboys at times, or the Cleveland Browns, or whoever, like these teams that constantly just fall flat on their face. We love it. It's a train wreck. It's fun. It's human nature, man. That's just what we do as human beings, taking, joy in the happiness of others, and watching this guy get his ass beat on the golf course in front of his wife was pretty special yesterday.
From the 785, boy, you aren't selling me in starting golf, LOL. Worst sales pitch ever.
Right. And I'm out. I'm no longer involved in the golf, right?
Golf is awesome. It is fun. There is just a small percentage of guys that go out there and think they are Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, all these pro golfers. They're going to shoot 72.
Yeah, you can't do
and
that.
They just don't. Or, Larry in a walking boot comes out and says he had 5 putts of over 25 feet and he shot 75. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you did
like
not.
the Chris Farley saying, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you can imagine how cool it'd be. Yeah, no, you didn't. It's like,
I had sex with Veronica Vaughn. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Yeah, well, I know
it
a guy.
could have been, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, golf is fun. It's enjoyable. It's relaxing. It's peaceful. I love it. Go play it. Have fun with it. There will be. It's just like in everything. There's those guys in slow pitch softball.
Oh, the softball guy. Know that guy. He wears number 69.
Has a goatee.
He's ready to fight at second base.
Has the baseball pants.
Yeah.
Wears the gloves.
Yeah, definite goatee. There's no question about that.
How's the elbow guard on? Throw it down the middle. I dare you. I have to. It's slow pitch softball, Craig. You guys are out of home runs. You hit them all in the first inning. Doesn't matter. We're practicing.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
That guy.
Are you guys brothers with Jay Binkley?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I tweeted a picture yesterday from Super 70 Sports, retweeted it, and it was like a softball team from the 80s, and it was hysterical. It was like, and I guarantee you there's 11 divorces in this picture right about now. Like, go back and look at it on X, formerly Twitter. It was from yesterday, so you can find it rather quickly. But it's all these guys in like jorts and mustaches and perms and cigs, and I mean, like it's the whole picture of what softball guy was like in the 70s and 80s, and I guarantee you there's 11 divorces in this picture as well, because that softball guy too. Going out to the softball field and play 3 games in the next 4 hours, and drink a ton of beer and then pass out at second base. Fine, go enjoy yourself, man. The guy came back to the door yesterday 3 times.
Oh my gosh, the sales guy.
The same guy came back 3 times yesterday.
Yeah, he might have something.
202, 232, and then 315. I'm walking out to go get the kids at school, and I'm like, all right, we're not interested. You've got to go.
Oh my.
He proceeds to tell me, he goes, you've got many wasp nests growing on your house. And we don't. I said, that's fine. I'm not interested, man. Like, you got to go. 3 more times yesterday. 8 times in a span of 24 hours, this guy's knocking on the door trying to sell me something.
Did you get the feeling that maybe there's something off?
I don't know anymore,
maybe,
man. It doesn't matter.
3 times in an hour.
Your boss has got to tell you got to stop
Yes.
doing that, man. He probably got an order from his boss that you go to every single house and you either get a yes or no actual answer from somebody, and you can't come home until you do so. Who's out till 9 o'clock at night knocking on doors trying to sell stuff?
I mean, he's just trying to stop wasps, man. Wasps and mosquitoes, 2 most pointless things in the world. I mean, he just
worst.
he's just trying to help. He just might have a little little issue.
I hope he
boss
doesn't
is like,
come
"You're
back
out, Howard."
today.
If he does, maybe bring him inside.
Yeah, no.
Maybe sit down. Maybe sit down with him and be like, "Hey, man, are you okay? Like, is everything fine?" Because like 8 times, and we've said no 8 times. Like, there's something that might need to have a conversation.
Oh, no, I'm not going to
Glass
have
of
a
water.
conversation.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get to talk about the Royals, or we want to wait? We got a big draft coming up. Let's talk a little bit more draft.
Yeah.
Okay. We're both in royal blue. It's okay. We'll talk Royals eventually, I promise, but we'll get to the draft and odds of the first round plus.
I was getting ready to put tees on home plate last night.
There you go. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and let's talk about something that maybe you're afraid or you've been putting off to talk about, and that is low testosterone, because it can cause a host of problems, from fatigue, brain fog, low sex drive, bad workouts. Well, wait no longer and go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health, who are experts at treating low testosterone. You can go to their website at heartlandmenshealth.com, take a low T quiz on their website. It's simple, 10 questions, yes or no answers, and it takes 2 minutes. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health. They will do your lab work and have your results within 30 minutes. A licensed medical provider will review your results with you and discuss your options, and you will make the decision together with their medical team. Cost of the appointment is only $99, which includes medical consult, T and PSA test. If you sign up for the testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. So say goodbye to the fatigue. Say goodbye to the low sex drive, the brain fog. Say goodbye to all of it and go see my friends at Heartland Men's Health, who are successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. Most men wait a year or longer, and there is no need to wait. So they have 3 locations to serve you. They have one in Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. Call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Honey, our new James Hardy siding from Powell Exteriors KC looks so good. Our house went from worst to first. The neighbor waved at me today with her whole hand. I'm ready for phase 2 of our home transformation. Let's call Powell about that new deck. They're offering financing at 0% for 18 months on everything. You should call today at 816-656-1160 or take another look at their stunning work on powellkc.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
The other place, Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton have lots of big screens, great food, and beer specials. Plus, patio season is coming up soon. The Other Place is your home for baseball this spring. The Other Place and theotherplace.com.
When it comes to buying a car, simple wins. Rob Sight Ford has the inventory, the trade values, and the non-commissioned team that puts you first. No pressure, just 4.8 stars on Google for a reason. ROBSIGHT.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then, place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Pour Downy in a rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
If the exterior of your home or business needs a facelift, trust the guys at CertaPro Painters like we did. They're local, and they get the job done right the first time. CertaPro Painters take care of every little detail, and I can't wait to finally be proud of the outside of my home. So if you're feeling like your home or business needs that facelift, schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber, locally owned and family operated from the start in 2012. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
This is like what, the Happily Alive instead of the Grateful Dead?
Fish, I think, is what we call this band, right?
But with an F.
Yes, that's right.
Sneaky snake.
Oh, there it is. It is. It's basically fish, but a snake. Yeah. I'm a snake.
That might be the guy knocking on your door, dude.
Could be. Yeah, absolutely. If he comes back today, I swear.
You gotta bring him in and have a conversation.
Dude, we have told you now 8 times. Stop showing up to our house. Nobody wants you here, man.
Yeah. A lot to dive into baseball-wise because Caglione destroyed a Cy Young winner
How
last
about
night.
that last night? That's the baseball story of the day. Let's go. Clayton Kershaw.
Tell you what, on base 4 times, Mr. Caglione. Single, double.
You think anybody in the Royals lineup could hit Kershaw right now?
Yeah, that's what
yes
you
or
do.
no?
Yeah,
Bobby could.
Yeah, Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia's playing well.
Heck yeah,
I like
awesome.
him, man.
And
I always
Freddie
have.
Fermin.
Freddie Fermin with a big single yesterday.
The Ferminator.
Anybody else? You think anybody else could hit Clayton Kershaw?
I will say real quickly with the Royals,
Bueller.
I do love the fact that Bobby Witt Jr. gets it. Because I don't know if you caught the audio last night, if you were already asleep after the game when he hit, which I don't blame anybody for that. But after they splashed Freddie, he said, make sure you thank the fans they stuck it out.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Or they showed up. I'm like, damn, Bobby. Stop being great. Yeah. Acknowledge me. Yes, and they will love you.
Mm-hmm.
And Freddie Fermin had a great, just a fun interview at the end of the game. He's like, thank you, fans. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I felt really good when they were chanting Freddie. It gave me a little extra juice. I mean, he tagged that guy out at third with that quick throw down to third, then hits the game-winning RBI. Which
that quick throw down to third was crazy, man. That was great. That was awesome. Done, out. Wow, okay. Let's go. Next inning.
Yeah, give Sal a week and let Freddie hit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hyperbolic take, but Sal's struggling.
Boy, he is struggling. I mean, he had a little duck snort last night. Whoop-de-doo.
I mean, that was, duck fart.
Struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, I was close, and if that thing went to the 12th inning, both teams got to use it and hit off a tee going forward because, neither team could buy a hit. That's how bad it is, man. Like the Rockies and Royals yesterday, God, they did not put on a hitting display, did they?
But maybe that little walk-off win is a little jolt they need.
Yeah.
That's 2 in a row. One more, it's a winning streak. Go sweep Colorado. I don't care if you win every game 2-1, sweep them. Just stay relevant. 10-14. We'll dive into the Royals. Plus, we'll get into Caglione as well because your boy, the ultimate fanboy of Caglione, has to talk about it because it was Kershaw. I don't care. It was Kershaw. Come on. It's lefty,
Yeah,
lefty.
great.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Lefty.
2 hits off of Kershaw.
Yeah, on base 4 times. He was walked and hit by a pitch as well. But there was a question we saw yesterday. Speaking of the NFL draft, that is just right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It is tomorrow. April 24th at the Landing in Liberty, starting at 6 p.m. Bink and Unicero. They'll be in studio tomorrow for a full hour to kind of have the pre-draft prep there, the mocks of the mocks. But Chris and Unicero broadcasting live at the Landing in Liberty for the first round. The draft contest is back. $965 cash prize. Autographed Juan Taylor helmet as a prize as well. 1 point for player drafted in the first round. 3 points if you get the right player on the right team, and your sheet must be turned in prior to Steven Inspector, the cheese curd lord, prior to the first pick on the clock, and the entire fan staff will be in attendance. But there was not necessarily like a poll question, but like kind of. It said if you could trade the first round pick for any of these guys, who would you do it for? Because there are players that are linked to trades before the draft. Because all we saw yesterday was the same smoke and hogwash. A lot of teams going to be trading. This is going to be an active draft. We're getting a lot of phone calls about if we want to trade out of picks. Sounds like a lot of GMs ready for a draft. Bunch of gibberish.
Yeah, bunch of lies and misinformation.
Get us to Thursday. But some of the teams are the players that are in there. So I don't know where what your team, if you're the Chiefs 31 pick overall.
Which is basically a useless pick.
Yeah.
But here's what it is. They had the odds of the players that are going to be traded. We kind of went through those yesterday. I'm asking you guys, if you could trade the Chiefs' first-round pick for any of these guys on that list that are dedicated trade players, who are they going to be? You've got Jair Alexander, Mark Andrews, Trey Hendrickson, Jalen Ramsey, Kirk Cousins, Anthony Richardson, Dallas Goedert, Will Levis, DeAndre Swift, Kayvon Thibodeau, Breece Hall, Tyreek Hill, and Micah Parsons. Tyreek Hill, by the way, is probably going to need a job after the NFL. The stuff that's going on with him right now, my God. I mean, more stuff with the kid is being done down there in Miami. Like, that's just a bad dude right now,
Wasn't there like video
man.
that he like hanging over the balcony?
Yeah, exactly. Like not good stuff. More stuff came out today. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. But more stuff coming out today about him and all this kind of like this guy's going to be he's going to need to work for the rest of his life to pay for a lot of this stuff. So he's off the list. I wouldn't touch Tyreek Hill if he was the last wide receiver on planet Earth at this point in time, because he's got other things that he needs to deal with.
34.5-inch pole.
So of that list, if I could say you could trade the first round pick, 31 overall, for one of those guys on the list, who would be your top target on that list? Because I think we may all lean in the same direction, but I think we could all make a case for somebody else. Micah Parsons would be the answer for me on that list. I think he's the biggest game changer. He's younger than everybody else. I do like Trey Hendrickson a lot on that list, but I think Micah Parsons is the biggest game wrecker, game changer, game destroyer that we could see on that entire list of guys that are going to be available when we get to the NFL draft on Thursday night of possible trades. And I know the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't trade Micah Parsons for number 31 overall, but you're looking at that list of guys that are going to be moved. Micah Parsons, to me, is the most desirable, the guy who I think fits the Chiefs the best on that list.
Nope.
Really? Not for you?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay, who would it be then?
What did we talk about all offseason?
What did we talk about all offseason?
I mean,
You want a dynamic running back.
okay.
There's one
we
on that
talked about
list.
a pass rush too. They're talking about Breece Hall.
Yeah. I think
Breece Hall's a nice player.
I think Breece
I
Hall
like
would be
that call.
awesome in this system.
Yeah, get him out of the Jets.
Right? Yeah, get him out of there.
Yeah.
I think he and Andy Reid's offense would be electric. He gives me a little bit of
woogie.
He gives me a little bit of Le'Veon Bell vibes, like a patient runner. Come on, you can't say
he was a total jerk here.
I'm not talking about when he was here. I'm talking about when he was destroying us in the playoffs, being a patient runner, but also electric. Breece Hall had a bad year last year, according to some.
Yeah, don't judge anything last year about the Jets.
But that year before, I'm pretty sure, Mac, you do the fantasy football show on Sundays. Breece Hall was like a top 7 average pick when it came to ADP because of what he could do and how he could change a game and the abilities he had at running back. That's what you want in this backfield, is somebody like that. Then let's say you trade your first round pick for Breece Hall, and then you get that, I don't know, you don't have any picks in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round. You have 3 in the 7th. You have 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 2nd. You'd have, now you'd have 4 picks basically, 3 picks. You don't have to take that running back. You don't have to go, or everybody what they always say when everybody's betting on someone to do something, take the opposite approach.
Right.
If the running back class is deep, maybe it's not NFL deep, you don't have to worry about it. So then when all of a sudden we look back in like 2 years, like, man, remember when there was like 15 to 20 running backs? 3 of them are actually still in the league today.
Right.
You're like, okay, well, glad we didn't take the bait. Breece Hall, to me, in this offense with Andy Reid and like that offensive line, especially that interior offensive line that you've locked up. Trust me, I'm with you on Micah Parsons. That guy
I like the Breece Hall one. I think that's a hell of a call there, Dusty, because he does fit a need. He's a really good player. He's kind of a player that I've always I don't want to use the term coveted from afar because that sounds stupid, but one of those players that you watch on another team, you're like, damn, if there's ever an opportunity where we could get that guy on our team, I'd like to have him here, like Stephen Kwan for the Indians. Like, that's a guy that I look at all the time, and I go, damn, I wish we had that guy on our team. I like watching him play baseball. He's just a good player, right? That's the same thing for Breece Hall. You kind of keep him in the back of your mind because he's always played for the Jets and kind of been in a bad situation, but the potential has always been there. And I think a lot of guys in the NFL get traded to teams or signed by teams because teams saw potential in them around draft time or early on in their career, and they're like, I can realize that talent. It's what a guy like Kadopius Tony gets opportunity after opportunity because teams see. He claims he's not retiring from the NFL now. But so people look at him and they're like, okay, that's a guy that's got talent. I can realize that talent. I can realize that potential. And then nobody ever does because guys who don't realize their potential, that's internal. That's on them. For the most part, no coach is going to be able to get that out of them. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to want to do it. That's Kadopius Tony. I think Breece Hall is a guy, just from everything that I've seen him on the field, like he wants to be in a good situation. I think that's a guy that's willing to have a change of scenery and come in and work his ass off and be a really good football player.
In the Jets organization.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to judge somebody whether or not they're good at what they do if they're in a bad organization, if they don't get the support from their company or they don't get the support from their team or they don't get the support from their teammates or things of that nature.
Saquon Barkley,
right, exactly. Baker Mayfield. Like, you can
Sam Darnold.
Right. Go through the list of guys. And that's why I always look at these quarterbacks that are drafted. Oh, that guy's a bust. Is he, or did the team just fail him? Because a lot of the times, it's 50% of the time, the team fails these guys, right? They absolutely do. They fail these players all the time. Breece Hall is one of those guys who's just been in a really crappy situation because he's played for the Jets and had to deal with the Jets and everything that goes along with the Jets. I mean, so, like, that's a guy, hell yeah. If you said 31 overall for Breece Hall, I would probably give up that pick for Breece Hall.
I don't know. I'm kind of out on Breece Hall. I have him on my dynasty fantasy football
Bias.
team. And yeah, I am biased. I just don't think he's lived up to what he's been.
He's played for the Jets.
Other guys have played for bad teams and have run for 1,000 yards. I don't even have a 1,000-yard rushing season. He struggled with health. Braylon Allen, a rookie last season, kind of took over his spot as the RB1.
What if I told you that Breece Hall would be 2017 Kareem Hunt? Or 2018?
Yeah, then I'm in.
Or I guess it'd be 17.
Yeah, 17 was a
rookie year.
Yeah, his rookie
because they were
year.
drafted together, him and Mahomes. Mahomes obviously said. So if he was 2017 Kareem Hunt in this offense, which we know what that offense was when they had a Kareem Hunt rolling.
I'd be in on that.
Yeah, because he's the type of running back we've wanted here in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Since that departure.
Really, since that departure. It's always been a ground and pound, and guys just throw their body at everything. You want that elusive guy. Like we were talking yesterday with Matt McMullen, and he kept talking about the Samaje Perine replacement type of guy. Like Breece Hall could potentially be that guy, Jerick McKinnon type of guy that we need in this backfield right now. Like I'm really intrigued by the potential of adding him in. Obviously, we're not trading the first pick overall or the 31st pick overall for a running back. It's just a conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to reset that back because people listen and they go, "You're a moron. You would trade that." Nobody said that.
Or they're locked in from 6 and still think we're a moron.
Wearing a hard hat, right? But I in your barbed wire tattoo. But I think what we're looking at is a situation where the Chiefs could really benefit from him, and I think he could benefit potentially from a change of scenery as well, and being in an organization that's run by adults.
Yeah. I mean, again, hypothetically speaking, Mike could be sick. I mean, but the contract-wise, if we have to get into semantics,
right? Yeah,
like which we're not.
We're
just
not
trading picks.
It's not my problem.
Yeah,
That's them to deal with. If they make the trade and they sign a player, they know that they can afford it. And the way that they've managed the cap here in Kansas City, all you capologists out there just got to take a back seat. They got this thing on lockdown. It's pretty good. Don't worry about the contracts. It's not our concern. They're the team. They're going to pay for it. We don't worry about contracts for anybody else in the world. We shouldn't worry about them for NFL players either. Mark Andrews is another name on that list that we kind of talked about that yesterday when we were going through this a little bit. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing Mark Andrews commercials everywhere last night, like for USAA, like a Mark Andrews.
USAA.
And then he was in the news yesterday. He was talking about the drop 2-point conversion again. His gloves were wet. Maybe he should have taken his gloves off and all this kind of stuff. It seems like it's going to be difficult for Mark Andrews to play again in Baltimore with all that vitriol that he got from those fans last year. And that could be another one that you look at and you say, okay, he's a little bit older, but maybe he's the guy that can kind of be your bridge if you're looking for the bridge from Travis Kelce to whoever potentially could be the next tight end on this team. And so you brought him up yesterday, and I thought that was a pretty good one as well.
Speaking of pretty good ones as well, Von Miller was on a podcast yesterday or the day before and said that the draft class that he was in is undoubtedly, without a doubt, obviously, the best NFL draft ever, 2011. It's good, like real good. But I don't know if it's 2017 good.
It's not 1983 good.
Yeah. And I forget which draft all the receivers went in, the Odell Beckham Jr. draft, because that was like I think that might have been the greatest wide receiver draft of all time. But in the 2011 draft that Von Miller claims is the best draft he's ever seen in the history of the NFL draft, number 1 overall that year was Cam Newton. Von Miller went second.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel Darius went third. I mean, decent. AJ Green, stud. I didn't know he was in that draft and already out of the league for like 5 years. Patrick Peterson in that draft, Hall of Famer. Julio Jones in that draft, Hall of Famer. Aldon Smith would have been Hall of Famer. Jake Locker, you remember him, don't you, Mac? Tyron Smith, Blaine Gabbert, J.J. Watts in that draft. Mike Pouncey in that draft. So a lot of big names. Cam Jordan was in that draft as well. And then you go to the
Jonathan Baldwin.
Oh, poor guy. But I mean, you look at the 2017 draft, and I'll just go 1 through 12. Miles Garrett, Mitchell Trubisky, Solomon Thomas, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, Jamal Adams, Mike Williams, Christian McCaffrey, John Ross, Patrick Mahomes, Marshawn Lattimore, Deshaun Watson. Those were the first 12 picks of the draft. Now, don't look at where they are now, which, I mean, you can do a little bit of that. But, I mean, like, that draft class, that was loaded. And to think that, hilarious, the Bears took Mitchell Trubisky at the number 2 overall pick and moved up to get him. But, I mean, a lot of big names in that draft as well.
There's no draft better than 1983.
Is that the Marino?
Yeah, John Elway, number 1, Eric Dickerson, number 2. Okay? Those are your top 2 picks right there.
Stop talking.
John Elway, Eric Dickerson, Hall of Famer. Pick 6 overall, Jim Covert, Hall of Famer, offensive tackle, Chicago Bears. Number 9 overall, Bruce Matthews, offensive tackle, Hall of Famer. Number 14 overall, Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer. I mean, you go down the list of people that were drafted in that draft. Dan Marino, Hall of Famer at 27. Darrell Green, Hall of Famer, drafted at number 28. Henry Ellard was in that draft as well, a perennial Pro Bowler. That 1983 draft produced Roger Craig. I mean, you're now getting into the second round. Albert Lewis, in the third-round pick, a perennial Pro Bowler. Dave Duerson, a perennial Pro Bowler in the third round that year. Like, that was a draft that people will look back and go, okay, that's how you build your organization. I know it's one that a lot of Chiefs fans look back and get pissed because we took Todd Blackledge that year instead of going out there and drafting, one of the great quarterbacks that were on the list. But the only quarterback that was really off the board at that point in time for the Chiefs was John Elway. And with that 7th pick, they took Todd Blackledge. They took him over Jim Kelly. They took him over Dan Marino. The Royals actually have done a better job of drafting quarterbacks up until this point of time than the Kansas City Chiefs have, because the Royals drafted John Elway. The Royals drafted Dan Marino. And the Royals drafted, there was a quarterback from West Virginia back in the day, Pat somebody or other, that the Royals drafted as well. And he was, on the list. And you're looking at that pre-Patrick Mahomes going, the Royals have done a much better job at drafting quarterbacks than the Kansas City Chiefs had done at drafting quarterbacks. And that's not a joke. I mean, that's the truth. The Royals drafted Marino. They drafted Elway. They drafted, God, I can't remember that kid's name that was playing quarterback for West Virginia for all those years. But they had a hell of a track record going right now. So I think you look at that 1983 draft, and we can ask Binkley this. I'm sure he's, got something in his mind as well about what the best draft is. But when you produce that many Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the first, 14 picks or whatever it was, that sets you apart from everybody else. It's hard to beat that 1983 draft.
Pat White,
yeah, that was the guy. Yes, yeah,
he was good. Because a lot of people would say that and I don't know if you would agree or disagree with this, but a lot of people would say that maybe that was the draft that like shaped the NFL's future.
Could have, yeah.
I mean, Marino has that amazing rookie year. Elway goes on to have his like immaculate career where like, you know, the drive exists because of that Jim Kelly takes a team to the 4 straight Super Bowls. Obviously, the second overall pick is one of the greatest running backs of all time.
I mean, my God, Eric
which kind of
Dickerson,
shaped that kind of like got the NFL because by the time those guys were in their prime, it's 1990. And then here come the Cowboys. And then, I mean, I guess you could say the Steelers in the 70s, but it didn't have that pull that we see today. The mid 80s, baseball still king. Early 90s, Dallas is doing their thing. 96 to 99, baseball is dominating. And then here come the Patriots. And then here come the Chiefs. And that's, voila, your last 35 years of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, but there's so many great quarterbacks that were taken, and it kind of did
Todd
something.
Blackledge, man, out of Penn State.
I mean, he was the best one of the bunch.
Stud.
But I mean, it's not even just the Hall of Famers. Tony Eason was around for a generation. Ken O'Brien was a great quarterback for the New York Jets that led them to the playoffs. Actually, led the Jets to the postseason in those years and whatnot. So there were a lot of really good quarterbacks that came out in 1983 and kind of did change the game. Like John Elway was different. I mean, you didn't see that running quarterback with a freaking machine gun on his arm.
He had the drama with being picked on the Colts.
And then not going to the Colts.
Went to the Skankies.
Yeah, and then he did. He ended up being a Yankee. I think he may have been an Expo at one point, like Tom Brady was. Jim Kelly obviously revolutionized the game. He was a very mobile type quarterback, and Dan Marino just put up numbers that nobody had ever seen before. And then, of course, you had Eric Dickerson, and my favorite moment of him is him getting on the show at Radio Row back in the day and ripping Justin Bieber for driving too fast in the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
That's what I knew. Eric Dickerson was my favorite. Screaming about Justin, just grab the microphone and start yelling about Justin Bieber driving too fast in the neighborhood. You want to talk about old men? Eric Dickerson complaining about that kind of stuff.
And now Bieber's yelling at everybody else.
I know. That's a
Bieber,
mess, too. What's going on there?
Yeah,
Man, that guy looks terrible. Oh, my goodness.
I hope he finds help.
I do, too. He needs it, man. That's sad.
I like Bieber.
Yeah, big time.
No quarterbacks in 2011. That makes 1983 better. I agree with you, Bob. Christian Ponder, Cam Newton, and Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's a wet fart. There's nobody good there.
Cam Newton was a stud for like
Cam Newton was good.
3 years.
Yeah, 2 or
but
3 years.
You got to have staying power to be considered one of the all-time greats. There's so many people that have these flashes in the pan that we see and whatnot, and we're always like, "Oh, wow, that guy's great." And then
Isn't
you look
that
at
the
it, it's
NFL
like,
in a nutshell.
Yeah, but I think at the quarterback position, like the quarterback position, you have to have staying power to be considered one of the greats of all time. You just do, and the league is set up now for these guys to have staying power. I don't know if you saw the Tre'Davious White story yesterday, where he, was a free agent at the end of the season, didn't have a great year last year, told his agent, "I'm going nowhere other than Buffalo." And so he signed back with Buffalo for like one more run in the sun. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, that's the guy Buffalo got for Patrick Mahomes. And we're just starting the next chapter of the Patrick Mahomes chapter and seeing where Patrick Mahomes is and his, going into this year. And Tre'Davious White signed with Buffalo basically on a minimum deal to try to get one more run and one more year on his career. And that's the guy you directly traded for Patrick Mahomes. And he got a haircut and he's ready for his next rodeo. Like it's no big deal. It's crazy how the quarterback in this league is protected, and if you last a long time and do great things, obviously that's what you want from your quarterback. And so if you had like Cam Newton's the biggest flash in the pan there was. He had a couple of good years, and that was it. For the most part, he was a colossal failure as the number 1 overall pick.
Agreed.
Okay. I mean, 15-1 season, MVP, went to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's
one,
colossal failure.
That's 1 year, though.
Colossal failure, I think, is like Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, he is a colossal
that's
failure,
fair.
yeah.
I don't know if I would consider Cam Newton a colossal
failure.
Okay, maybe failure, but I mean,
won an MVP,
you're the number 1 overall pick. Like, there are expectations for the number 1 overall pick. And Cam Newton, I don't think he lived up to him. I mean, the guy quit in the Super Bowl, for God's sakes.
There is evidence of that. But, again, went to a Super Bowl, won an MVP, and had a number 1 record for his franchise in the history of that franchise. Young franchise. But still, I mean, yeesh.
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
That's right. It is a Wednesday for the Fescoe and Dusty weekly poll. I want to let you know this poll is Chiefs draft. Who do you want them to draft? Go to the fan 965. You'll see the poll question: offensive tackle, wide receiver, or running back.
Or defensive tackle.
Okay, so O tackle, D tackle, wide receiver, or running back. That is the poll question today. Coming up on the other side, it's another day, and it's a glorious one to have Jay Binkley join us on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Fernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're looking for something awesome to do with your friends, foaling is the answer to that question. If you're looking for a great date idea, foaling is the answer to that question as well. And if you're looking for that perfect spot to have your kid's birthday party or your birthday party, foaling is the answer to that question as well. Football plus bowling plus bar equals Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. And foaling is perfect for everybody. It doesn't matter how old, what you want to do, what kind of fun you want to have. Foaling is the answer to all of your what are we going to do questions, because foaling is basically bowling with a football. Yeah, you heard me right. You set up the bowling pins and you throw those footballs at them just like you're bowling. The first one to knock down all the pins wins. You re-rack, you do it again, and you play over and over and over again, and you're going to have the time of your life. You're going to get addicted to it, and you're going to walk out of there as a foaling expert. Make sure you take advantage of their awesome bar, great cocktails, amazing beer selection, and you can cater your own event as well. Bring food in or just have it delivered at Foaling at 435 and State Line. So make your reservation now at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com, and get your foal on.
The world is turning yellow with dandelions, and that means it's time for Weed and Feed. Weed and Feed is designed to control broadleaf weeds and feed the lawn. Get your Weed and Feed down today.
The grass pads high on grass.
New Harley-Davidson Street Glides under $265 a month at Rawhide Harley. Ride out for under $265 a month on a new Street Glide at Rawhide Harley-Davidson.
Payments based on Street Glide model and base color with 30% down, 96-month term, 6.99% APR with approved credit. Doesn't include freight, setup, tax, title, and license fees. See dealer for details.
I'll tell you what, my friends over at Park and Go are the spot to go to for all of your airport parking. It's where we've been going for years now, and we love Park and Go because, well, there's so many reasons to list. Number one, it's all covered parking. So when you're parked at the airport and a storm rolls through or the sun's hot and you don't want your car damaged, Park and Go is going to protect your car with all covered parking. I also love the customer service that is provided at Park and Go. All of their employees are smiling, are happy to help, can't wait to get you to the airport, can't wait to get you back. The employees at Park and Go are flat out awesome as well, and it's so easy to make a reservation at bookparkandgo.com or with their easy-to-use app. All you have to do is book your flight and then immediately go to bookparkandgo.com or their app and make your parking reservation. Prepay, because that's when you're going to save the most money. That's the insider tip right there. Prepay, and you're going to save dough. And then you show up on the day of your flight, give them that reservation number, and they direct you right to the spot they have reserved for you. In seconds, you're on your way to the airport terminal with no stress at all. When you get back after that long trip, just grab your bag, walk outside, jump on the bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car you go. So join their frequent parker program like we did and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Something amazing is happening. Despite a citywide blackout, this company is still up and running. That's because CDW deployed and managed a cost-effective Eaton Triplite Series Smart Pro UPS to safeguard equipment easily and reliably. Keep the power on and protect your IT equipment from electrical challenges. Triplite by Eaton and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/triplite.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start May 14th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Now, your big ideas don't have to wait. They have everything they need to come to life because Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas. A technology that loves expanding your business and evolving your passion. We push what technology can do so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Missouri side, Northland, 435 southbound slows past I-35. Stay slow down to 48th Street with ongoing construction. Money-back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
It's time for the College Football Report with Jay Binkley.
I'm still not sure I'm not Dusty's dad, but regardless.
On your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
It is a Wednesday. Don't forget, The Fan 96.5 has their X poll up. That sounds naughty. But we asked the question, with the draft being tomorrow, where do you want to see the Chiefs go in the draft? Do you want to see them go offensive tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver, or running back with their first pick? Which also could very much be in the second round. But we go to Jay Binkley now, who joins us, our draft insider, one Jay Binkley. Bink, I got to ask you, as of today, I'm going to ask you again, Shedeur Sanders, a first-round pick, yes or no?
I'm still saying yes. I mean, yes, the trends this morning weren't great. Had him sliding, down in the draft. I still think New Orleans at 9 is pretty good. I don't think there's any way imaginable he slides past Pittsburgh at 21.
Okay, I listened to Dusty ask you that question. You said, is Shedeur Sanders a first-round pick? He may be picked in the first round, but is he a first-round pick?
No. He'll be picked in the first round. He's not a first-round pick. I'll contend that even if Michael Penix was in this year's draft, he's number one. He's even over Cam Ward. So this class of quarterbacks is not good. Will he pick in the first round? I think so. I think it does hurt the Chiefs that there's not a lot of quarterbacks. That does take spots for people they would draft. And so I think that really stinks for the Chiefs as far as sitting at 31, that more quarterbacks won't be going.
Yeah, I think, at 31, you'd love to have like a run on quarterbacks at some point in this draft for the Chiefs' sake, right? But I don't know that you're gonna get the opportunity to have that kind of run on quarterbacks. We were looking back at the 83 draft and the 11 draft and some of these, better drafts of, all time. I'll say the 83 draft. Like, we don't have that kind of dynamic game changer coming out at the quarterback position. Not even one dynamic game changer, I don't think, coming out at quarterback right now. So just because you're Tennessee at the top of the draft and you may need a quarterback, are you making the right decision by going with Cam Ward if he's not 1-1 technically?
Well, they have to, because even the free agency class of quarterbacks wasn't that great. You had Sam Darnold going out there getting paid, even though he peed down his leg at the end of the season and didn't deserve a big contract. He did because he was there. And it was somebody that could go get. So, Cam Ward and these guys will be drafted because teams are so starved for quarterbacks. And Tennessee went out and spent a ton of money on defense last year, only to be sitting there. You don't make L'Jarius Sneed-type trades to think you're going to be drafting first. You don't do it. If so, they're idiots because they shouldn't have spent the money that they did. But, it's by necessity. And last year, we had the 6 quarterbacks drafted as well. You look at last year's draft, he had 6 quarterbacks going last year, tying that 83 class. You had 8 offensive linemen going in the first round, tying 2008. You had 7 wide receivers going in the first round, tying 2004. It was just a crazy first round. That was like a really exciting first round of the draft. Oh, and by the way, I would say the 1989 draft is the best of all time.
We are talking, nice, 1989, Bob.
Okay, 1989. All right.
Well, you had Troy Aikman, Tony Mandrich, Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, Deion Sanders in the top 5. That's 4. The Mandrich is a bust, but 4 of the top 5 picks are all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then you go down to pick 20 with Steve Atwater. He's a Hall of Famer. So even though just 5 Hall of Famers instead of 7, like other drafts, like the 83 draft, these 7 Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, you have 4 of the top 5 in the Hall of Fame. You got names like Derek Thomas and Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders. That's the best class.
That is Jay Binkley's voice, and all of our draft-related interviews are brought to you by Pal Exteriors, J&M Displays, and the Salvation Army. Binkley, so if Shedeur doesn't go to the Saints, then where?
Pittsburgh at 21.
Okay.
He had a good visit with them or whatever, and they're certainly starved for a quarterback.
Yeah,
I think Jackson Dart may have something to say with that. It is interesting that Jackson Dart was originally invited as one of the attendees at the draft. He was actually in Green Bay earlier this week, and he's decided to leave Green Bay already before the draft even happens. He's in Utah for a draft party that will happen. That's somewhat interesting to me. That's where he's from.
Yeah. And then, Binkley, I have this question for you as well. Jalen Milroe's gotten a lot of publicity over the last couple of days. Obviously, Palacero said that somebody said he's the best quarterback ball runner he's ever seen, and that the comp for him is Michael Vick. Where did this all of a sudden start with Milroe?
And can he throw?
Yeah.
I mean, he's okay. He's just an average quarterback. I'll be honest with you. I went into the season really liking Milroe. I liked some of the things he could do. There were times I would watch Alabama this year, and I'd grab my phone, text people that I knew would probably be watching, saying, this is one of the worst quarterback performances I've seen all year from a Heisman hype type guy. It was that bad. There were so many inconsistencies in how he threw, and he was very inaccurate at times, that I understand all this hype, but, man, I see a lot of Will Levis style. You know, everybody loves him, but yet there's so many holes in his game. But, man, I like Milroe. Keep in mind, I went into the year really liking him, but, man, there were some games last year I was like, and this dude was being thought for the Heisman? Give me a break.
Jay Binkley, why is Brett Veach as important as Andy Reid to this organization?
I think he had slided a little bit because I used to think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Was that Bob?
I said I know I do too. Like everybody's loving up Howie Roseman like he's developed the cure for cancer.
Yeah. You can't do what the Chiefs have done without him. And when you think about the Super Bowl rings that they have, they wouldn't have a couple of them without Brett Veach. Say what they want. I mean, Super Bowl 57, he's over there at the parade if they beat the Eagles, holding up Lombardi, saying this is what a rebuild looks like. Because he was tasked to do it. I mean, he had to go through that draft, and he had these seventh-rounders that all of a sudden made a difference, like a Najee Johnson, a Jalen Watson, Isaiah Pacheco. He needed those guys. Like, those guys were contributors to that football team. He had to win to the draft. He had to go out and get a Trey Smith in the 6th round. He had to take a chance on a Creed Humphrey in the 2nd round, a Nick Bolton in the 2nd round. He had to do these things because good front offices do this. And listen, he learned from, there was a time it was Veach and Chris Ballard and John Dorsey all in the same building over a one Arrowhead Drive. I'm sure he learned a ton, from all those guys at different times. But the fact when you don't look at the 7th round as just, throw dart throws of guys you want to sign or get drafted so they come in and you don't have to fight for undrafted free agency with them is insane to be that good. I know there's going to be some misses, but find me a general manager that doesn't have misses because they all do. Mm-hmm. And I think the most impressive thing is 2 years ago, they had 21 of their previous 22 draft picks on the roster, whether it's a practice squad or whatever. That is unheard of. And you can make the argument, there's been other teams like the Cardinals. Okay, but winning teams that are winning Super Bowls having 21 of 22 draft picks still on the team. That is insane. It was a run where only Bo Peep Keys wasn't on the team. Not last year's, but the year before. They went into training camp 21 of 22, except for Bo Peep Keys, and that was it. But you're going to have misses. But I think that's incredible when you think about no other GM can say that. You have to be good in the front office, and he's won the trades. Picking off practice squad, how about Harrison Butker that he grabbed right there in 2017? That was his first big move. Trading Parker Anger for Shavarius Ward, getting the Orlando Brown pick, the Nick Bolton pick, number 58 with Orlando Brown, doing deals with the rivals like Buffalo and Baltimore. The team isn't who they are without Brett Veach doing business with rivals in the Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens. But to do all that, have the foresight to get Mahomes' contract done early, He does it all, and he doesn't get nearly the run for the success of the Chiefs he deserves.
All right, Bigley, last one. Over, under, one-word response. Over, under 3.5 trades in the first round tomorrow night.
Over.
Ooh, all right.
Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
We got one brewing right now with the Bears and Patriots, possibly Austin Genty type move. So we already got one brewing, so I'm going to say over.
So the Bears and Patriots, the Patriots with the 4th pick, and the Bears have the 10th pick in that draft, right?
It's just a rumor. There's just rumors that there's something going on there.
What's the rumor?
It's been so quiet. It's been so Genty. It's been so quiet right now with no trades being done that I think we get a lot of things going on. And don't be surprised if Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals moves tomorrow night as well.
So you think the Bears will trade up to 4 and take Genty, or Genty will be drafted by the Patriots and then traded to the Bears?
I think that the Bears will move up and get Genty.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that, but that's what the hot rumors are.
You heard it. Jay Binkley thinks the Bears are going to trade up. You heard it here on 96.5 The Fan. Binkley, we'll see. I'm kidding. We'll see you tomorrow in studio for an hour. We'll see you at the Landing in Liberty as well tomorrow night for the draft.
All right, brother.
That is Jay Binkley, all NFL
Reporting
draft.
that the Bears are trading up their pick, huh?
I'll tell you something, man. I didn't say they were going to do it. He made sure it wasn't him that said it did, okay?
Well, the new rumor is that Ashton Genty may be drafted by Jacksonville at 5. And if you're the Bears and you really want him, you now need to get above 5. New England's picking at 4. Obviously, they need more than one player. Ipso facto, that trade makes a lot of sense.
Jay Binkley joining us there, and all NFL draft-related interviews brought to you by Powell Exteriors, J&M Displays, and the Salvation Army. Coming up, a history look back at the 31st overall pick. Oh, man, it's not great. Listen to Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Well, I don't think that, but that's what...
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Hey, well, yo, man.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, if you want to save some money, my friends at Golden Oak Lending can help you out. In fact, they can help you out with all of your financial needs. You just got to call them and take that free mortgage checkup and tell them where you are in life and what you want to try to accomplish. And my friends at Golden Oak Lending will try to help you get there. And you got to get started with that free mortgage checkup. It is risk-free. There is no paperwork or credit card required. Just a simple phone call where you tell the good folks over at Golden Oak Lending what you want to accomplish. And they'll look for a loan that's better than what you currently have. And if they've got something for you, they'll let you know. And if they don't have something for you that's necessarily better than what you're in right now, they'll tell you that as well. And they'll call you back in about 6 months when something does pop. And the average cash out customer at Golden Oak Lending saves $1,104 per month. It's a huge savings. And when you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you can go 2 months without making a mortgage payment. Now, you can check them out online at goldenoaklending.com and use Zipline, Golden Oak's fast and easy online mortgage tool, or you can just call them and have a conversation like I like to do it. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD. And let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Shane Company engagement rings are expertly crafted to fit both your style and your lifestyle.
My wife's an artist and works with her hands. Shane Company helped me create a ring that's beautiful and sleek. She loves it.
Shane Company rings are crafted with care using high-quality materials, and we set each center stone by hand in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store. We also protect your ring, including the center stone, with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Let us help you find your perfect ring, in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then, place a bet on any MLB MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No matter the showdown, BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Royals coverage sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Midwest Auto Services on the Missouri side. Northland, things slowing on 435 southbound coming off of I-35. Heavy approaching now and slow on that ramp to go southbound. It stays sluggish down 48th Street with construction. Is driving your vehicle like fighting a wild bull? Does it lead, pull, or feel out of sync when you accelerate or brake? Are you replacing your tires a lot due to poor wear? Let Midwest Auto Services check your alignment. Call 816-224-4247 or MidwestAutoservices.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Your chance to win $965. Plus, an autographed Chiefs helmet as part of our draft contest when we broadcast live from the Landing in Liberty during the first round on April 24th. The Fans Draft Party. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
Giannis to be a Laker next year?
Oh, please no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that the hot rumor right now?
Yeah, that team about to get swept by the Pacers.
So you just, wait, hang on a second. You just said Milwaukee hired Nico Harrison?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know the sponge is supposed to be wet.
Giannis is gone. You're right. I agree with that.
He's out.
He's going to ask to leave.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't you?
What do you get back if you're Milwaukee for him? Do you go out and get Jokic?
Well, you wouldn't do a trade.
One for one?
Yeah, no. Giannis will be a Laker.
Is he a free agent at the is it an opt-out deal in his Did he sign a new deal with them?
Giannis will be under contract, but he's going to ask to leave.
It'd be a trade.
Yeah. So it'll be a trade, yeah. So what do you get back in return for him? A first-round pick in 2037?
No, you get a first-round pick for next year's draft.
Do you? Because in the NBA, you're always it's seeming like you're trading out picks. They're protected picks. Nobody knows what the hell they are.
The picks are so annoying to figure out what it is. Protected,
I'll give you 10 first-round picks in the next year. Okay. And then these picks don't exist. Whatever.
Yeah, you better get some really good players, too. I want a good young player.
Did Milwaukee fail? Is that a cautionary tale for the Royals, maybe?
They won a title.
They did win a title. They did, absolutely.
They won a title.
But how many titles do you I just feel like no matter what sport we're in now, one isn't enough.
They failed for their future because I remember when they got Dame Lillard, I was like, okay. I was like, this is it. Because Dame, reason he left Portland is he was like, I love Portland. They were a great city, but I want to go win. And he essentially did the Tony Gonzalez thing. He went to a winner or a proven team that could win, and then they always fell short. He would get hurt. Giannis would get hurt. They fired their coach after they won the title.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, now they're about to get swept by the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, and so with
I don't know about swept.
They won't get swept.
But
they're down 2-0.
Gentleman's sweep is what they call it in the NBA.
Happens
or something
all
like
the time
that.
in the first round.
Yeah, it does. These 4-1s and things of that nature. But let me ask you guys this, though. Like what we're seeing in Milwaukee right now, that's a cautionary tale for the Royals, man. And I hate to be that guy, but we've got a superstar in Bobby Witt Jr. that does have the opportunity to opt out.
In 4 years.
And so it's important as an organization that you continue to surround Bobby Witt Jr. with really good players. Last year was a great start to this, and re-signing Lugo and extending Cole Reagans and doing all those little things are necessary. you've got to keep your star player happy. And so while it's the NBA and nobody follows the NBA on a day-to-day basis in Kansas City because we don't have a team, that's one of those. Well, I'm sorry, Mac and you. That's one of those stories that he probably thinks Giannis is washed at this point, right? But like that's one of those cautionary tales that you have to look at and be wary of. Like, if the Royals do not surround Bobby Witt Jr. with legitimate talent every year moving forward, Bobby Witt Jr. may pull Giannis, and I wouldn't blame him. In 4 years,
100%.
If this team hasn't gone back to the playoffs, they don't have anybody in the lineup that can protect him, what's the incentive for Bobby Witt Jr. to stay here? A new ballpark at 119th and all? Like, is that going to be enough incentive? So the Royals have to use that as a cautionary tale to continue to let Bobby Witt Jr. know, hey, we're going to continue to improve this team around you. Same with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Like, once Kelsey goes out, continue to build the weapons around him and get back to that old school style of football where you're hoisting it down the field and you're bombs awaying this thing on offense. So I think you can learn from everything, and Milwaukee is one of those stories you look at and you go, man, you had them, you won one championship, which is great, but one just doesn't seem to be enough anymore. And now you're going to get rid of him in the prime of his career, essentially, right?
Last night, the Royals won. Feltner-Bubic was the matchup, and the Royals win in extra innings thanks to Freddie Fermin. Now Jake with the scores. So the Royals pick.
And why do we need to do the scores on a broadcast, by the way? How antiquated is that?
I mean, you want to talk about antiquated. This man gives you every thread every team is wearing pregame. Yes. I don't know if you've heard. The Royals join. He goes, the Royals joining. I can't do it, Jake. But he's like, the Royals are in their gray, their home whites, royal blue across the lettering, saying Royals. Blue stripe down the side, royal blue number, lower left side. They're facing the Colorado Rockies in their road grays with Colorado across the chest. Black stripe down the pants. It's a nice 77 degrees. Baseball at Kauffman, Denny. Thank you, Jake. I was asleep. Like, damn, dude, this guy, waistline 33 inches. All right, I guess here comes the pitch from Feltner. And Bubic is boobalicious. Royals 5, Rockies 4. What's going on over there?
Keep going.
Back in 1995 when the Rockies became a team, Jake, you were just a little bitty kid. No one in their right minds would ever talk about the stitching on the jerseys. I'm glad to have you. Royals 1, Rockies 0. Feltner-Bubic is a hell of a matchup, Jake. Steve, it's not my night. But we can talk about the draft.
Oh, no, keep going.
No, nobody wants that much, Dave.
I do.
No, I was just like,
I'm enjoying the broadcast.
I was just like super impressed there, and I was like, damn, this guy, like, I was picturing the players in their uniforms.
Oh, it's great, the imagery.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, talking about painting a picture on radio, it's like, damn, all right. Wearing the whites with the royal blue stripe down the pants. Like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, Michael Kay for the Yankees.
Props to him.
Used to do that a lot. The interlocking NY, he used to call it on the hat. He did that the other day.
I was listening. They were playing Detroit. He goes, with the Old English D as the Detroit logo on the jersey.
Oh, the Old English. OLDE, Old English.
You ever had Old English for a 40?
Yeah, you ever have that? Oh, God.
We used to play Edward 40 hands. You ever played that?
No.
So you put all beers in a hat, like just on a piece of paper. Everybody draws 2. So you could get lucky and get like Miller Lite and like Bud Light, light beers, right? And I'm not saying they're great flavors, but like you get those and you have to duct tape 2 40s to your hand and you have to finish them before you can take them off.
Oh, I've heard of this.
And the worst part is when you get like Old English and like Colt 45.
Billy D. Williams loved that Colt 45.
That was my first and last time ever doing it.
You can get a good cold Colt 45 down at the local tavern, I'm sure, on tap, right? Or not? Is that not? No. Does Maloney's have that?
Probably get it at Bink's place.
Binkley probably serves Colt 45, yeah. Like anything in those
and 2 zigzags.
It's all like malt beer, right?
Malt liquor,
yeah, it's awful. Awful. Ugh, gross. That just like, and by halfway through, it's warm and it tastes like backwash. You're like, what am I doing here with this?
It's tough. Yeah, I got Colt 45 and OE, dude.
Yeah, that's awful.
And then I got the pants by my friend, and I couldn't do anything about it. I'm just helicoptering there with 2 40s in my hand, like, dude, you're a jerk, dude. Last time I had a Colt 45, I was watching The Quick and the Dead with Clint Eastwood. He could fire that thing like Schreiber does in the bullpen. Coming up on the other side, it is the 31st overall pick and where they've been in history. Bob with the scores on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, Missouri, we got great news for you in the state of Missouri because the Underdog app is now available, and it's one of the best where you can make the greatest plays in sports because Underdog just became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their Extender promo. With the Extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. And to play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. And you can choose from things like points, assists, and so much more. Playing on Underdog is a layup. You can combine entries from other sports as well. You can do baseball. You can do basketball. You can do them separately. You can do them together. I love doing them together and having fun watching multiple games. And once your entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app and sign up now with promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading property, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley Equipment has the machines you need to get the job done. And right now, Foley has 0% financing on new cat skid steers, mini excavators, and compact track loaders. Stop by any Foley Equipment location today or visit us at FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that. And often, we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym could be due to low testosterone. And that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And even if you're in your 30s, if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find that your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make the change for good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
When I wake up
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel all right.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Living with chronic joint pain is like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you enjoy this spring, like golfing, hiking, and tennis. You're just trying to get by. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Kansas City are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that help calm that debilitating joint pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your back. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. The consultation is totally free, and they're happy to take a look to see if they can help you finally get the relief that you deserve. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland, 435 southbound, moving better coming off I-35, but sluggish to 48th Street as you make your way through that construction zone. Heading inbound I-70, a little slow around Nolan. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Not very many times in my life do I feel like I have to prove that I was kind of right. Here's a minute and 10 seconds of last night's game. Sorry, minute and 14 seconds of exactly what we just described.
Tonight, the Royals are in the home white jerseys, white tops and bottoms, thick royal blue stripe down the side of each leg, Royals in royal blue script at an angle across the chest with royal blue numbers on the lower left side of the jersey and on the back, and the nameplate across the backs of the shoulders also in capital blue letters. For Bubic, he wears number 50, and he wears the royal blue cap with the interlocking white KC logo on the front panel and the white button on top. Meanwhile, for the Colorado Rockies, it's their purple jerseys with Colorado in black block letters outlined in white in an arc across the chest. Same goes for the numbers on the lower left side of the jersey and on the back. Black numbers outlined in white.
Does this happen in every game?
Every game. Is prepared to lead off, wears number 12. And then the Rockies have the gray pants on tonight with a thin purple stripe down the side of each leg. We couldn't have better weather for baseball this evening at Kauffman Stadium. 77 degrees, bright blue skies, barely a cloud in sight. The stadium lights are on, but we certainly don't need them quite yet. The flags are at half staff, and they are flowing out to left field tonight. It is a strong breeze out to left.
Why are they at
We're
half
ready for
staff?
baseball, and now for the play-by-play, here's the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
All right, Jake. Hi, everybody. And Sean Bouchard leads off for
Just disregards it all. Definitely, it just goes it off. I mean, that's every game. I was so impressed. I'm like, because the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, it's cool, descriptive. They're on the road. Like,
well, you the homestand, you're the first game.
Yeah. And then I'm sitting there, like, driving home from the golf course. And I'm like, oh. Or, I mean, I'm on the, 13th or 14th fairway. Just like,
and the socks are at 33 inches above the knee with a stripe down the side, and their shoes are tied with a double butterfly knot.
Yep. I mean,
every game you said?
Every game.
Okay.
Yep. So I believe, tonight, 6:40 start again. Josh Verner's pregame show at 5
sir.
o'clock. Vern's on deck show at 5 p.m. here on 96.5 The Fan. And then Royals broadcast starts at 5:30. So you're looking around... Let's see here. No, it'll start. It'll start at 6. So Vern at 5:30.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vern at 5:30 on deck show. 6 Royals broadcast. So 6:38.
6:38 radio. Okay. All right. We got soccer tonight, so maybe
earbuds.
Yeah. Okay. Good point.
So I just want to bring up real quickly, then we'll get into our draft of the day. So these are picks.
What's Mac wearing?
What, tonight?
Right now.
He's wearing a 100% cotton top with from H&M with jeans below from American Eagle, stitched down the seam in a copper thread, wearing a nice brown shoe that he got off of Amazon at the price of $39.95, which you need to get that deal now. It's ended on Sunday. Bob, on the other hand, wearing a See You in the Major Leagues hoodie with the white strings from the hoodie, with his Odyssey badge dangling below his neck at a crooked angle. I'm kidding. Also wearing shorts, going with the hoodie short combination. As for his co-host, Dusty Ligens, he also wears a hoodie that says October Ready that he got in November for $100.
Half price, though, right?
No,
paid full price.
He's wearing gray shorts with a cashmere inside. No underwear on the lad today.
Oh, you're wearing those
mid-high Nike socks with Air Force Ones, and he's wearing an interlocked Have a Day from Bob Does Sports hat with a string on it.
Do you have a what are they called?
Yes.
The shorts that I'm wearing right now?
Oh, the liners?
Yeah, Yardbirds.
No.
What are they called?
Bird dogs.
Bird dogs. Yeah, I could think of the name.
Yardbird.
Yardbird, Firebird, Bird Dog, Lakers in 5.
Exactly. Yeah. Shannon, what?
Easy.
How about that draft?
Yeah. So in the past, 31st overall picks. These, I don't want to go through a lot, but these are some like notable names. Ricky Pearsall went 31st last year. Could be a big addition to that team.
That would be. I would love to see what he could have done had the incident of him not getting shot happened. Because he did have a nice little end once he got back from that, which is unbelievable. Once he got back from that, he had a nice little season for himself out there.
Right. And then the year before that, Felix Nduke-Uzama, that was in 2023. He was the 31st overall pick. Dak Hill for the Saints. Again, I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying. I'm not even.
I think it's Dax Hill.
Dax Hill. Okay.
Yeah.
Odiafe Owen or Oha. I don't know. That's who the
Odef Owe.
Okay.
For the Ravens,
Odef
right?
Owe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Odef Owe. Oh, yes,
The
that's
pass
right.
rusher?
Of the Mission Hills Owes. Yeah.
You go down the list. I don't need to name all the names, but in 2018, Sony Michel was picked.
He was supposed to be really good.
Right.
Yeah, he's supposed to be
the year before that, Reuben Foster.
Love
was
his
picked.
sandwich and his banana dish.
Bradley Roby was in 2014. He ended up being a pretty solid pick at 31. Cam Hayward in 2011. He was a 31st
That's a nice
pick.
pick.
That's a great pick.
No doubt.
Jerry Hughes at 31.
Yeah, former AD at UCM. RIP to Jerry Hughes. But Greg Olson in 2007 was the 31st pick. You go down the list a little bit. Todd Heap, the great tight end for the Baltimore Ravens in 2001, was the 31st overall pick. Trunk Candidate.
Well, God, I remember when the Rams drafted him, man.
Supposed to be fast.
Supposed to replace Marshall Faulk, and they're going to have a 1-2 punch for a while.
Who was
it? Trunk Candidate. They drafted him after the greatest show on turf Super Bowl in 99, that 2000 draft. Trunk Candidate did nothing in the NFL.
No doubt
Most of these guys did nothing in the NFL.
Right. And that's where the Chiefs are going to pick for now. I don't know if they move up or down. I still don't know the terminology, how I use it right. If you move down, and does that mean you're moving out?
Yeah, you're moving out. Yeah,
Okay.
you're moving up. You're going up. Yes.
Yes. So I will say that I'm not looking for like a franchise-changing player at 31. I don't think this team needs that. But that just kind of shows you throughout history, I don't know, in the last 15 years, maybe 4 guys are going to be somewhat studs, possibly, so low percentage-wise. But again, it's, that's where I'm trying to put expectations at 31, if they stay there.
It's a guy, right? I mean, we hear all the time there's, 15 dudes with first-round grades on them in the NFL, right? You're picking 31. I'd say you're not going to get a first-round graded guy unless somebody you do have graded continues to fall down the board and you're able to jump up and get that guy in the 20s, a la Trent McDuffie that we saw last year or 2 years ago when the Chiefs were able to go and get Trent McDuffie. And so there are exceptions to every rule. But if you get a guy at number 31 that becomes a solid player for you that you can count on, that's a good pick, man. You have to look at pick 31 as basically a second-round pick, a third-round pick. What would you expect out of second- and third-round picks? Not much, because you're not watching. You're watching on Thursday. Everybody expects a game changer to be drafted in the first round. That's just not the logical way to approach it. If you're picking 31, 32, where the Chiefs are seemingly every year now, and you get a guy that's just a rotational guy in your defensive line, or maybe you get a guy that ends up being a starter on your offense, or maybe you end up getting a linebacker that becomes a playmaker type guy for you that you can rely on, that's a good pick at number 31. I think going in there and trying to get a game changer that late in the first round, it's probably not going to happen. There's just not enough game changers out there on paper today. Now, somebody may turn into a game changer like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, guys in the 3rd round, the 5th round, 6th round pick, and Trey Smith. Guys have the opportunity to get better and outplay their draft status. But I think going into the draft on Thursday, expecting a game changer at 31, probably not going to happen, but it may end up being a game changer at number 31 in the next couple of years when we look back and go, damn, that was a hell of a steal at 31, you know?
You guys got your picks ready for our Wednesday draft our Thursday that is coming up at the Landing on tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Let's get into our Chiefs wish they would have draft. So this, to give you some sort of insight on what we're doing here, is guys that the Chiefs drafted that just didn't pan out, but man, you really wanted them to because you for some reason had a connection. Bob, you've been first all week. I don't see why we buck the trend. Continue to go, my man.
Ryan Sims.
Oh, man.
Number 1 on my list
North
is
Carolina.
Ryan Sims. First draft pick for me covering the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 6 overall, number 1 in your hearts. And that's when I realized in 2001, I don't want to use the term nepotism, but the head coach at North Carolina was one of Dick Vermeil's old players. His name was John Bunting, coach with him at the time, recommended Ryan Sims. They drafted Ryan Sims. And Ryan Sims never really amounted to a whole heck of a lot here in Kansas City as the number 6 overall pick. And so that was a guy that I really thought was going to be good. You're being drafted number 6 overall. Let's go. So Ryan Sims is number 1 for me.
I'll go a little more recent. Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be one for me that I had a big connection with, and I thought he was going to be a massive get for this Chiefs offense. A running back who could catch passes out of the backfield, shifty. We've seen Andy Reid excel with these sorts of players time and time again. Just didn't work out. There are multiple reasons, non-football related and football related for that, but either way, didn't work out. No. Didn't work out.
I'm going to go with mine, which is the first draft that I ever was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get into it, right? I'm a diehard sports fan. Jonathan Baldwin, man.
Oh, Baldwin, huh?
God, dog, man. First pick, 26th overall out of Pittsburgh. I thought he was about to be Larry Fitzgerald, man.
So there was a red flag immediately on that one. Josh and I had the announcer of Pittsburgh on the day after he was drafted.
Yeah.
And we were like, tell us why, why he was drafted here. He goes, I have no idea why they drafted that guy. We're like,
oh, no.
This is the voice of the Pittsburgh Panthers or whatever they're called there coming on the air and going, yeah, I'm not sure why they picked him that high.
Damn, man.
Now we know.
And then I do the Serpentine draft. My next pick after Jonathan Baldwin will always be and forever a dear, great draft of mine that didn't pan out, Mr. Glenn Dorsey out of LSU.
Yes.
I thought he was going to be Warren Sapp, man. I really did. He was quick. He was big. He was mean. He was LSU. He was nothing in Kansas City.
and Dorsey goes down as one of those picks by Scott Pioli where arrogance trumped the player. They were running whatever defensive system it was here, say it was a 3-4 or whatever, and they drafted this guy who never played that position before, and we're going to convert him in the NFL. That's arrogance right there. Draft a guy who fits what you're doing.
Yep. Okay, yeah, me, you're right. Okay,
you, Dr. Mackenstein.
I'm going to go with
H&M. You can still fit into those clothes, man. Like a large at H&M is like a small everywhere else. It makes you feel really, really awful about yourself. That and Express.
It makes me feel really great because I get like trendy clothes for like $58.
Yeah, but you're buying like 4X and you're supposed to be a large.
No, I'm buying large or extra large from H&M.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm getting my normal medium.
Yeah.
Tano Passanio. Would be mine. He was 6'7". He had an 8-pack. This dude was 295 pounds.
What else did he have?
Oh, yeah. Smash. I mean, dude, it was. I just thought he was fast. He thought, me and my brother would just be like, dude, this guy's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think he really ever played.
Yeah, he never did. Another guy who never really played for us. Rest in peace, Eddie Freeman, drafted at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, first training camp. Took his helmet off and started bashing players over the head with it. I'm like, this guy's going to be a good football player. And that's when Dick Vermeil dropped his first F-bomb at me at Family Fun Night with fireworks going off in the background. So Eddie Freeman. And I'll wrap it up with J.J. Moses, man.
Okay.
I love that kid. I thought he was going to be good. In fact, I said he should be the guy over Dante Hall.
Wow.
Swing and a miss at that one.
It happens to the best of us. Cyrus Gray, running back.
Is that your guy? Is that who you're taking?
Cyrus Gray.
I like that one.
Cyrus the
Yeah.
virus?
Cy Gray, man.
Yeah, I was Texas A&M fan. Loved Cyrus Gray at A&M. Thought he was going to be great. Again, never really played.
Yeah, gosh, there he is, Eddie Freeman. Yep. You took two guys in that draft, in your opinion. Ryan Sims, Eddie Freeman
was
went
Eddie
one
Freeman in that same draft?
Yeah,
I thought Eddie
2002
Freeman was the following
and then
year.
Then the one of maybe the greatest Chiefs named in the history of Chiefs, Omar Easy.
Omar
went the fourth
Easy,
round, dude.
yeah.
And then
Wow.
Scott Vegeta.
Yep, Scott Vegeta ended up being a really good player in the NFL.
No
Played
doubt.
for a number of different teams, but he was a really, really good player.
Yeah, dude. And then my last one. This guy pissed me off when I played with the Chiefs on Madden. I mean, pissed me off. Got torched. William Barty. I thought he was going to be lockdown corner, going to help that defense.
Revis Island.
And then it was like every time you played Madden and somebody knew that you were the Chiefs, they were just like, okay, where's Barty lined up? Man, this is real life.
Yeah, but you go and you look at the defensive line that they had in that era, starting with Ryan Sims and Eddie Freeman, and
They drafted this dog with a 54th overall pick.
Yeah, but he had no chance.
No.
Nobody could get to the quarterback. They had all day to sit back there. Didn't matter who was playing defensive back. They never had anybody that could get to the quarterback. Those years, man, that 01 to 05 era, the Vermeil era, I mean, there's so much regret from that era of just totally ignoring the defensive side of the football, basically until it was too late, and you bring back Gunther, and what's that going to do? But one of the greatest things I've ever learned, I did learn from Gunther Cunningham. We were standing in the old lobby of the Chiefs facility back in the day when their offices were in the stadium, and we're just standing there. It was back in the day where you could just walk into offices, do whatever the hell you want, nobody cared. And Gunther, he looks at me, he goes, "You know what our problem is?" I'm like, there's a lot of issues. He goes, "We don't have enough day one players on defense." And I'm like, "What do you mean day one players?" He goes, "Well, first, second, and third rounds. You've got to have first, second, and third round guys on your team making big plays and making big contributions." He says if you don't have the day one players, back then, day one of the draft was the first 3 or 4 rounds, whatever the hell it was. And so I've always kind of lived by that motto. Thursday and Friday are the days you got to make your hay, right? You got to get some of those star players to be star players. The Chiefs have been able to do that, obviously, recently, and have done great in the later rounds. But back in those days, man, you didn't have a lot of first and second round draft picks out there on the field, and you were trying to fill in the holes with like old veteran guys and you know, has-beens and never will be's, and they really let that defensive side of the football go. It's really a shame to think about what could have been in that era had they just had some guys that could play defense back in the day.
Boy, that 08 draft is tough to look at.
The Chiefs 08 draft?
Glenn Dorsey, Brandon Albert, Brandon Flowers, Jamal Charles, Brad Cottam, Deshaun Morgan, Will Franklin, Brandon Carr, Barry Richardson, Kevin Robinson, Brian Johnson, Mike Merritt.
There's a lot of guys that started on that team.
Yeah. I mean, your first two pick. I mean, Brandon Albert
was your starting left tackle. I'll take him today.
Yeah,
absolutely. Right? Brandon Albert was good.
Yeah.
Jamal's probably your greatest running back in franchise history.
Yeah, third-round pick. Those were the two guys that I believe they got from the trade of Jared Allen to Minnesota.
Okay,
they
that
got back
sounds right.
those picks, and I think they took Brandon Albert and Jamal Charles.
Good
That was
trade.
a hell of a draft. A lot of those guys were on the team when Andy Reid took over, too. That was a good draft.
Yeah. It's just tough to see those guys are like legends in the Chiefs, some of those guys. And then, of course, Brandon Flowers has the greatest photo ever taken for a Chiefs
Oh,
player.
my God. Brandon Flowers had a hell of a career here, too.
And then Brandon Carr, a hell of a steal in that draft.
Yep. Seventh round?
No, fifth.
Fifth round.
Jared Allen was a fourth round pick.
Another good one. He was drafted as a long snapper to try to replace Kendall Gammon. And Kendall was the best that ever lived at that long snapping position.
Yeah.
Jared Allen couldn't replace him. And so they're like, well, I don't know, rush the quarterback.
Yeah, try that.
All right,
I'm a
Mac.
Hall of Famer.
Let's get into one word.
One word on the Chiefs draft Thursday. Tomorrow's portion of the Chiefs draft.
Reload.
Boring.
Okay, one word on the Chiefs portion of the draft Friday, rounds 2 and 3.
Exciting.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, even more reloading. Yeah.
I think Friday's the draft. I mean, Friday you have what, the 2/3 and the second for now?
Yeah, for now.
Because you don't even watch the draft as a Chiefs fan Saturday. I don't know why you would. 0 picks in the 4th, 0 picks in the 5th, 0 picks in the 6th, and then 3 in the 7th.
Well, they'll find their way back into the 6th, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. In 2027.
Yeah.
But no, I mean Friday to me, Friday is the night. Like Friday, obviously you can really get after it. If you want to tie one off, you can. But that's where I think the shaping happens is Friday night.
Yeah, I agree. One word on people saying that tight end is a need for Kansas City.
I think that's false.
False is your word? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Let's discuss.
I mean, we don't know anything about Jared Wiley. Noah Gray is good. I don't know if he is a full season starter. And then what?
Well, why do you need a tight end, though? Because we have Travis Kelce? I mean,
you have to. So, okay. So you have that mentality. What do we always go back to with Patrick Mahomes? He learned under a year of Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
If you're drafting a guy this year to be the replacement in a couple of years.
But you've already got two of those guys on the roster, one of which you paid.
Yeah, but not a ton. You paid him like a 2-year extension with a little bit of change, which was expensive for a backup. But I mean, that's for like after that transition is over, Travis Kelce. And we don't know anything about Jared Wiley yet. He got hurt last year. We'll see what that happens. And I think that if you draft a tight end in the 4th round, if there's one available, or in the 3rd round with that second pick in the 3rd, then you have, not a lot of capital for a lot of gain that could possibly be there. It's low risk for high reward, in my opinion. And you learn under Travis Kelce.
I will go kicking and screaming into that dark night if they take a tight end. I don't think it's a need. You've addressed this need. And I think it kind of goes back to the left tackle as well. Because it's not a household name, we don't think there's a guy out there that can be replacing of Travis Kelce. And again, trying to find a replacement for Travis Kelce is dumb. You're not going to replace Travis Kelce. You're going to be different when Travis Kelce moves on. That's why I think you go more of the wide receiver route. Start getting a little bit younger there. Continue to draft speed at the wide receiver position. So when Travis Kelce does ride off into the sunset, right? You now have, okay, this is how we're going to open up the offense. Yeah, we have Wiley here and we have this other guy here, but what we're going to do is we're going to open up the offense and we're going to get back to the 2018 open it up down the field type of offense, now that Travis Kelce, because trying to replace Travis Kelce, it's fool's gold in my opinion. It's like trying to replace Lawrence Taylor or Derek Thomas or Patrick Mahomes at some point in time. They're going to try to replace Patrick Mahomes. Ain't going to happen. It's not. You'll have a quarterback, you'll have a tight end, but nobody's going to be that good. You have to adjust as an organization.
I don't think people are okay. I don't think using the word replacing is necessarily like trying to duplicate Travis Kelce. But if you want somebody that's going to be a vital part of your offense, which it seems that the tight end position has been for the entire run that Mahomes has been here and almost all of Alex Smith's run, I'm not saying that you're going to replace Travis Kelce as a talent. But if you need somebody that is that style of tight end because that's the way your offense ticks, then you have to go find somebody with that skill set. 20 years ago, nobody thought anybody was ever going to replace Tony Gonzalez. Here came Travis Kelce. So
but how do we know we don't have that guy in Wiley and
Noah Gray?
I don't know with Wiley because I haven't seen him play because of injury. Noah Gray, yeah, he's been good when he's needed his role. But saying that Noah Gray should be your full-time starter is the same argument to say, well, Freddie Fermin should be your full-time in your roster full-time. Yeah, his last 7 games are good, but what would Freddie Fermin average out to in a full season? Is that somebody that you can trust to take over that? Because no one's going to replace Salvador Perez. But eventually this team will have to have somebody come in. Maybe that's Blake Mitchell. Maybe that's Freddie Fermin for a year. Not saying that he's going to be Salvador Perez's talent, but you need somebody that can be a stick in your lineup that can also be a dependent catcher, which is similar to what makes this team tick. So again, I think you need to find somebody that has a skill set that you know of. I don't know if Noah Gray can play 16 games and average, 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. I'm not asking him to do that, but that's what this offense has been because of what Travis Kelce is. But again, I'm also not saying that he has to have 99 receptions, 1,300 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But you need to be a vital option in this offense. You have receivers. You have Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Juju. You have those guys on your roster this year. They are young. They are fast. Again, I would take Luther Burden if he was there as well.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying against that. But again, not replacing a talent, but replacing a position of key on your offense is something that I think the Chiefs are looking to do. And I think that's something that is one of those things because now we officially know this is probably most likely Travis Kelce's last year. Hopefully. Are you ready to go full speed ahead with Noah Gray?
Where are you on the tight end, Mac?
I'm with you, Bob. I think replacing Travis Kelce is a lost cause, and I think
not replacing his talent set, but his position.
Noah Gray, I think, is better than probably at least 12
There's
tight ends.
a reason they paid that guy money last year.
I believe so.
That's the sneaky move that you look at the time and you go, all right, but there's a reason why. they did that. I think we're going to see a lot of Noah Gray this year. I think we're going to start to see kind of that passing of the torch, and then people realizing why they paid Noah Gray. I kind of feel that way. Like, and again, it goes back to what are your expectations? And I know people have the expectation that whoever takes over for Travis Kelce is going to have to put up Travis Kelce-like numbers.
I was about to say that. The last 4 years, there have been 3 tight ends in 2 of those years that have put up 1,000 yards. 3. In 1 year, 2 of those years. And the last 2 of those years were also 1 tight end put up 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards is insane for a tight end.
Nuts.
We've gotten accustomed to that.
Right.
That's not regular.
That's
700
not
yards is amazing for a tight
like
end.
HDH wasn't normal out of the bullpen. Bobby Witt's July wasn't normal. You see these abnormal things happen in sports. Like, well, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be, but it's abnormal, for that reason. So I just personally, and if Brett Veach drafts a tight end, then Brett Veach drafts a tight end, we'll, do whatever we have to do. But like that's one of those positions that I look at, I'm like, there's probably some other needs you can go after right about now,
Noah Gray's career average right now for a 17-game season is 26 receptions for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But he hasn't been needed to do anything.
That means nothing.
Okay, I'm just saying, in his last 2 years were his first 2 years of 10 games where he started each year. 2 years ago, 28 receptions. Last year, 40. Last year had 437 yards, 5 touchdowns. I believe he had 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
That's a good tight end year.
It's a good tight end for
it
backup.
really is. Yeah, that's a nice year.
When your starter's getting over 100 targets and 90 receptions.
Yeah. That's a good year. Like, I don't think you can judge Noah Gray's stats about what he's going to do when he's definitely like when you look at like the backup tight end, you've got Travis, a couple wide receivers. Like, what option is he? 4 or 5 every single time, right? Yeah.
Okay. You guys are Noah Gray guy. Go buy his jersey.
Hey, so far Wiley is Kelce. Kelce had a season-ending injury his rookie year. Wiley's right there with him. He's on track.
There were no expectations for Travis Kelce. I mean, Andy Reid was this close to cutting Travis Kelce. So, I mean,
no doubt. Coming up on the other side, we get to a situation in which it is a what would you go do? Because who do you wish you could have seen perform live that is no longer alive? If you go back in time and go see one band live, who would it be? 913-586-7965. Your answer's next on the text on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and you better believe it, baseball is back, and this season we're bringing you the proud partner of your Kansas City Royals, Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. They're absolutely delicious and pair perfectly with a day at the ballpark. Find it in Kauffman Stadium all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles for 0 troubles. So it's easy to sip and enjoy while you're at the game. Ask for it at your local bars and liquor store. You must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Hello, Kansas. Looks like we're in for another heat wave this season with a forecasted high of up to $300,000. That's right. The Kansas Lottery is bringing the heat with the Hot Sevens family of tickets rolling across our state. You could instantly win up to $300,000. Plus, there's even a chance at up to $20,000 in the second chance drawing through Play On. Talk about a scorcher. Don't forget your oven mitts when you head out today. See kslottery.com for details.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Honey, our new James Hardy siding from Powell Exteriors KC looks so good. Our house went from worst to first. The neighbor waved at me today with her whole hand. I'm ready for phase 2 of our home transformation. Let's call Powell about that new deck. They're offering financing at 0% for 18 months on everything. You should call today at 816-656-1160 or take another look at their stunning work on powellkc.com, Facebook, and Instagram.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
When I wake up the best mornings in the morning light, start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Helzberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Helzberg.com or a store near you.
If the exterior of your home or business needs a facelift, trust the guys at CertaPro Painters like we did. They're local and they get the job done right the first time. CertaPro Painters take care of every little detail, and I can't wait to finally be proud of the outside of my home. So if you're feeling like your home or business needs that facelift, schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, inbound I-70, slows coming out of Blue Springs. You hit delays past Woods Chapel, and once you get out towards Little Blue Parkway, picks up and moves better briefly, then off again, on again heavy from 470 and towards 40 Highway. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
In the 7 o'clock hour, man, this show is flying by, and it will tomorrow, too, because you have your draft, which we will see you all at the Landing in Liberty. Tomorrow is the 24th. Don't look down, but your calendar says April 23rd. Tomorrow's the 24th, which means
crazy.
Draft day, draft night, Landing, Liberty, 6 p.m., Bink, Unicero. They're broadcasting live in the first round coverage. The draft contest is back. You have a chance at $965. That first of the month's coming up. That could be mortgage-ish, rent-ish if you win. Plus, you get an autographed DeJuan Taylor helmet as the prize. 1 point for player drafted in first round, plus 3 points if you get the right player and the right team. Your sheet must be turned in prior to the first pick on the clock, and the fan, staff, and attendants will all be there signing autographs. And you can see Mac's beautiful locks and all that as well. So.
Will they the 10% be cut off the top by Steven Spector, that 965, and he'll put that in his pocket?
I don't know.
Is that the rumor? Like he gets a 10% finder's fee for that? Yeah,
$96 for respect.
Yeah. Well, you guys wouldn't be there, you know.
You wouldn't want it if I didn't do it. Okay, fine. Here's 10% off the top. Thank you.
Yeah. No, we asked a question on the other side, 913-586-7965. If you could see anybody live that no longer is alive, band-wise, who would you be? Because Land of the 80s on Twitter said, Tom Petty was such a talent. He's one performer I wish I would have seen live. Then the question, obviously, who do you wish you would have seen before they passed away? So
Mr. Fescoe, is there one? Because you've seen a lot of talent live. Is there one that you missed that you wish you go back in your, not Millennium Falcon?
Oh, now see, I'm DeLorean. Yeah, there is. Mm-hmm.
And?
Oh, you want the answer to that question?
Who would that be? Yes.
Frank Sinatra.
Ooh, nice answer.
Nice. Would you smoke a cig during?
With Frank?
No, you're just in front row. He's like...
I mean, if you're probably sitting at a table, right? My parents were going to see
curtain.
Frank Sinatra, and he canceled the show, and so they never got to see Frank Sinatra.
Damn.
Like Sinatra to me, you got to see in like a lounge, like in Vegas, like, and they were going to the Meadowlands to see him in like, the arena. I'm like, that's a big place for Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that feels weird.
Old Brown Eye.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry, Old Blue Eyes.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah, not the first one. Stay away from that. Old Blue Eyes, that'd be tight. I would just drink nothing but like, did they have old fashions then? Is that a dumb question?
Did they have them then?
Yeah.
When is then?
Well, I didn't know, like 1945.
You think the drink just got invented today?
No, but I don't know if it was like a
Well,
drink
let's
that,
look.
I don't know if people were like sitting in a bar like, yeah, I'm getting ready to see Frank. What are you drinking? Old fashioned. I feel like they were drinking like Scotch neat.
It dates back to the early 1800s.
Yep, 1881 in Louisville, Kentucky.
But, like,
The
were they
invention
actually
of
like
the
making
old.
them and like drinking them then?
Probably wasn't good.
Like people were probably all just drinking Vesper martinis. You know who drinks Vesper martinis? James friggin' Bond.
There you go.
There you go. Sinatra would be great.
That's a great one. Yeah. What about you, Dusty?
Two artists come to mind.
Okay.
Number one would be Fleetwood Mac in its entirety.
Nice.
Obviously, Christy McVie is no longer with us, and I believe another one. Is there another one that's passed away? I know Lindsay's still alive, Stevie's still alive, Mick Fleetwood's still alive. I don't know if Christy and her husband are both alive. I know Christy McVie is passed away. By the way, she did a collab album with Lindsey Buckingham. It's great. And the other one would be Bob Marley.
That was one of my answers as well. That's
Going to
one.
like Kingston Town and just seeing him put on a concert on stage, just letting it rip. I mean, I still think No Woman, No Cry is a top 5 song in the history of my top 5 songs.
Great song.
One of the greatest, most underrated guitar solos of all time. But yeah, it'd be Bob Marley or it'd be Fleetwood Mac in its entirety.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, Bob Marley was one of the first ones that came to my mind as well. My number one answer is kind of basic though, because it's the Beatles. But it's the Beatles. Come on, I want to see the Beatles. I can't help it.
You wouldn't want to go back and see the Heatles?
Oh yeah, not one, not two.
You probably would want to go see the Heatles, right?
Yeah, who wouldn't? Come on.
Yeah.
Just hate watching LeBron
Yes,
dunk on people.
exactly.
God, he's so good, but I hate him.
Ending Paul Pierce's career. Just
Yeah, I mean, Prince is up there.
Yeah, Prince would have been
Ooh,
good too.
yeah.
Yeah. I wish I would have had the opportunity to see him.
Yeah.
You know, there's some great stories about Prince. Like we went to Minneapolis years ago on our baseball trip, and I was going to be like, this dope tourist, and ask everybody I ran into if they knew Prince, right? Everybody did know
What?
Prince. It was unbelievable. And everybody had a different Prince story about the guy would just walk into a store and buy everything for everybody, or he'd show up at a bar and buy everybody had these great Prince stories. And one came from a bartender at this bar called the CC Club in Minneapolis, and it's famous for, God, what the hell was the name of the band? Was it the Replacements back in the day that came from Minneapolis? Anyway, so we're sitting at this bar, and I asked the bartender, I go, so you know Prince? He goes, well, my dad's boss lived next door to Prince back in the day, and he said when this guy would have parties, he'd go around and knock on the neighbors' doors and let them know, hey, we're having a party tonight. I'm sorry, there's going to be some noise and whatnot. You're all more than welcome to come over and go to the party. And I'm like, wow. Did he ever go? And the guy's like, nah, he never went. I'm like, how do you turn out an invite from Prince? First of all, he's like your neighbor, so you probably just thought, it's just my neighbor, right? But I mean, Prince is going around personally knocking on doors, telling people, hey, we're having a party tonight. Sorry for the noise, but you're invited to come down and check out what's going on. I can't remember the name of the place where Prince lived, Paisley Place, back in the day. And so like every single person up there had a great story about Prince. That's hard to do, no matter who the person is, whether you're a celebrity or you're a normal Joe. For everybody to have a great story and a different one about you and how awesome you were as a person, and nobody to say anything negative about you, it tells you what kind of guy Prince really was. I was stunned by all of that.
A lot of Michael
amazing.
Jackson coming in on the text line. Blake Schneiders as well texting me saying Michael Jackson would be his. Two cool Prince stories before we go to break that I always remember of Prince. Number one, Super Bowl.
Yep.
He performed in the Super Bowl. It was storming, and his crew came up to him and said, hey, Prince, what's up? Hey, it's storming its ass off. Is there anything he needs to do some postpone the show? He goes, make it rain harder, was his only response. The best Prince story of all time is probably an homage to his career. At the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they had all these great guitarists come on stage. He was there, but he was only going to get like 5 seconds. Tom Petty's on there. The guy from ELO, I can't think of his name, he's on the stage. All these great guitarists are on there. And Prince goes forward, and impromptu style that Prince is, just a dog with a hog, goes out there and just shreds it for like a full minute 30. And you can see all the guys in the background breaking character because he felt so disrespected that he wasn't considered one of the better guitar players. Just goes out there and just starts absolutely shredding. It's great. The video is fantastic. You type in like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Prince, it'll be the first thing that comes up. And he just goes on this like F you like guitar solo. Like, here you go. You didn't want to put me in the top.
So Mahomes did, huh?
Oh, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, you guys want to leave me out of the reins? Okay, well, here, watch this. Hold my beer. And also check out my resume of women that I dated. Shout out Carmen Electra. Coming up on the other side, we rank the last 5 years drafts. Yes, the 5 years of drafts from the Kansas City Chiefs here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my lawn is looking awesome, and it looks that way because of my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Had a buddy over yesterday. He goes, I'm tired of my lawn service, man. Yours looks great. Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They're going to do an unbelievable job for you as well. And if you mention you heard it right here, they're going to give you up to half off of your first application just by mentioning this ad. And so for 10 to 12 years, we've been trying to get our lawn looking good, and I just decided I'm done with this. I'm waving the white flag, and I'm calling the college-educated professionals over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They get the job done right the first time, and I know that for a fact. They came down, put down the fertilizer, put down the pre-emergent. There are no weeds. There are no dandelions. The grass is green. The teenagers at the house are impressed by it, and they come by every week and cut that lawn, and it looks awesome. I know there's lawn envy going around the neighborhood right now, and it's finally for my lawn as opposed to me looking at everybody else's going, I wish it looked that good. And then the pest control is going to be fun, too, because they're going to put the mosquito dome over the house and keep all the mosquitoes out of the yard, and the fleas and ticks as well are going to go bye-bye. So get in touch with Aspen Lawn right now and tell them, hey, I want my lawn to look great too. You can visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
I'll tell you what, my friend Dawn Sharp is the best in the business when it comes to real estate. And if you want to know what your property is really worth for free in less than 30 seconds, the Sharp Homes team with Epic Realty has the answer. Just visit homesforsaleandkc.com. Click on What's My Home Worth? The answer just might surprise you. You might be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. Remember, at homesforsaleandkc.com, your next big payday may be just a click away. And the Sharp Homes team can give you options as well. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, you can do that. Call them and contact them to discuss their instant offer program. In fact, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. You can Google them, Sharp Homes team, and see why they're selling 150 homes in the last 12 months, while the average agent sells just 4 homes per year. And you can also see over 200 5-star Google and Zillow reviews. Plus, visit them, like I said, at homesforsaleandkc.com. That's homesforsaleandkc.com, and start packing.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Baseball is back. Time to get your game day grill going. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal at the ballpark or sear the best steak ever while listening to the game on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
We're hiring residential garage door installers at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Join the team trusted here since 1927. Apply today, get a call today. No experience necessary. Paid training for motivated applicants to install garage doors. Hiring bonus up to $2,500. Mechanical, carpentry, or service industry experience is a plus. Good benefits include health, dental, vision, and pension. Earn as you learn to service the best garage door customers in KC. Apply today at overheaddoorkc.com.
Royals Coverage, sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Royals Coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
It's almost Andy Reid. The off-season is a perfect time for a $100 tune-up from Renner Garage Door. Get a free replacement quote today. Call or click rennerdoor.com, Renner forward and back.
RENNER.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
North KC 29 northbound, very slow approaching Parvin right now with a stalled blocking the center lane. Southbound side of 29 is heavy around Armour, then just sluggish from 16th Avenue into downtown. Kansas side 35 north and southbound getting slow around 635. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
What's up, KC? This is Matt Quattrero. On your way home from the ballpark, make sure to listen to Vern's postgame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. I will not be listening.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
I don't know if I'd see this band live because I don't know who it is. Generic Metal.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was trying to think of something generic with Metallica, like Illuminica, right?
Graft.
So dumb. Oh, boy. So, welcome back into the show. It is the 8 o'clock hour, and as always, we either make somebody really, really happy or we make somebody really, really upset with this sounder because you know what day of the week it is. It's the day after Tuesday, which is always good for two guys that come and do this show because of what their lives entail. But
I'm loving it. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
yeah. We do our poll question every Wednesday on Fescoe and Dusty. Our Fescoe and Dusty poll question this week is, where do you want to see the Chiefs go in the draft with their first round pick? Running back, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver. There have been 241 votes. So you still have some time. You still have some time to vote, but it is on the Fan 96.5 Twitter page. Running back, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver. So far, out of the 241 votes, the leader in the clubhouse by a small margin is defensive tackle at 41.9%, offensive tackle at 40.2%, wide receiver coming in third at 13.7%, and then running back at 4.1%. So everybody's
so defensive line coming in at number one.
Because I bring this up because tomorrow is the draft, or we bring this up, sorry.
It is?
We bring this up because the draft is tomorrow, and now we're starting to see all the smoke that, according to some, not to some, but according to Andy Reid, they had a conversation with that cat at Ohio State at running back.
Travion Henderson.
How many of these draft interviews turn into getting picked by the team where they go to interview at? I think a lot of those are smoke screens as well, So I never get caught up in those. I don't care who visits here. To me, a lot of it is a smoke screen, and a lot of these guys never, ever get picked. I think some of it's due diligence, too, about maybe some other guys that are potentially in the draft. But whatever the Chiefs decide to do tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, you're going to have to support. The Athletic did a look back at the last 5 years of drafts of top 50 draft picks for each team, and they ranked them from 1 to 32 about who had the best drafting in the top 50 over the last 5 years. And Detroit comes in at number 1. In the last 5 years, guys, they've had 12 top 50 draft picks. 12 of those top 50 draft picks have turned into 13 Pro Bowls, 35 starting seasons, and they've had some really good dudes come out of that draft. Number 2 on the list of the top drafts in the last 5 years of the top 50 talent.
Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
Oh.
Your Kansas City Chiefs. In the last 5 years, while Detroit has had 12 top 50 picks, the Chiefs have had 5. Continue to put that into perspective. They've had 5 top 50 picks in the last 5 years and continue to win the AFC and continue to make it to the Super Bowl. Think about that for a minute. How many Super Bowls has Detroit made with their 12 top 50 picks over the last 5 years? So the Chiefs come in at number 2. Baltimore comes in at number 3. They've had 8 top 50 picks. Tampa Bay comes in at number 4. Dallas, shockingly enough, comes in at number 5 when they rank their top 50 picks. They've had 15 Pro Bowls and just 6 selections for Dallas. And I keep scrolling, and I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling. Oh, there he is, Howie Roseman coming in at number 9 on the list. Brett Veach at number 2, Howie Roseman at number 9. People want to say we're living in a Howie Roseman world, and the rest of the world is just kind of watching Howie Roseman run roughshod over this thing. Meanwhile, Brett Veach's drafts come in ranked 7 spots higher than Howie Roseman, who had 8 top 50 picks, but only translated that into 7 Pro Bowls, where the Chiefs had 5 top 50 picks and converted that into 4 Pro Bowls. So the Kansas City Chiefs are doing a heck of a lot better than the Philadelphia Eagles. But the impressive thing to me is they've only had 5 top 50 picks in the last 5 years and continue to maintain themselves on top of the draft. And that's why when Dusty said, kind of boring for tomorrow, exciting for Friday, you're absolutely right about that, because that's where the Kansas City Chiefs have made their living over the last couple of years, in that sweet spot, in that second round, third round, those top 50 picks, man. They've got some really, really good dudes in that draft and continue to roll along, and they're doing it without selecting guys in the top 50. It's crazy, right? Usually you build your draft with the best players available. The Chiefs are building their draft outside of the top 50, and they're still maintaining success in the best organization in the NFL.
I just randomly searched Detroit Lions draft picks. I'm not sure what they did last year to improve their team. Maybe they were just kind of waiting for guys to develop. But, the most game, I guess, is Terrion Arnold. He's pretty good at defensive back. He's a stud. And then the second round, Ernest Rakenshaw. Is that out of Missouri? Should I know that?
I don't know that guy.
Rakestraw, Ernest, Enos. Giovanni Manu. Yeah, I don't know, man, but they did pretty well in the last couple of years for that. Jameer Gibbs, Amara St. Brown, Jameson Williams, if he still stays there.
Laporta.
Sam Laporta's in that draft as
Penei
well.
Sewell as well. You take
yeah.
him in a second, right, on this team right about now. So
no, it is interesting, because I think the one thing that gets underlined about drafts is that a lot of people want to grade them on the night or of the year,
yes.
right? Like you look at it, and that's why I think I think that what is it, the number 2 on the list with Brett Veach's draft, top 50 picks, 5 Pro Bowls, like you said, 4 starting season, all that, and that draft was nuts. But I always remember that draft is like they fixed a number 1 need of a problem, because you got completely embarrassed, right, by Tampa Bay in that Super Bowl, because you didn't have an offensive line. Patrick Mahomes gets absolutely headhunted that entire, what was it? He had 200 yards rushing, but east and west,
It's like
not
over
north and south.
300. Yeah,
something like that. And then you fix that offensive line, and then you go win back-to-back Super Bowls, right? Then, or not back-to-back, but later on you win back-to-back, because you lost to Cincinnati somewhere in between there. But then it makes me believe that with that sort of history and Brett Veach's knowledge for the draft, it's kind of the same story that happened this past year. You got absolutely embarrassed in the Super Bowl. And where did you get embarrassed the most? Offensive line, defensive line, right? What are the poll question leading? The 2 picks everybody wants to see draft. Offensive line, defensive line. Where do you need the most strength? Offensive line, defensive line. So, I'm interested to see where that goes, because after losing to Tampa Bay, you obviously you mentioned the Creed and the Trey, but it's that right there at 63 and 226, the future of your interior line, the wall that is starting to be built around Patrick Mahomes, and it's not like you picked 5th or 6th or 12th.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing that we sound like homers, but that's okay. that it's like, to me, it is impressive. And I gave that analogy last week where it's like, if you play fantasy football, but you don't have a snake draft, but you win your league every year, you're picking 12th or 14th, depending on how deep your league is, and you're always making the championship, or you at least have a chance to go play for the championship, and you're getting the 14th pick, the 28th pick, the 39th, whatever it is. And it's like, Brett Veach is doing this in real life.
Yeah.
It's not fantasy. This is real life. And I think that's the most impressive thing. And I thought the question to Binkley earlier was great when it's like, does Andy Reid and Brett Veach, do they kind of like cancel each other out with what they've done with this franchise?
Well, I think it's so foolish, but that's where we are. I mean, perception is everything in life, right? Perception is what it is, and the perception is that this is Andy Reid's team and nobody else does anything, right? Except when there's a bad play, then it's Matt Nagy's fault, right? So it's like that's how we perceive things right now here in sports, in life in general. It's not Salvador Perez hitting 165; it's the hitting coach's fault, right? It's not Vinny Pasquantino, as he said yesterday, sucking. It's the hitting coach's fault, right? That's how we do things in this world, right? If it's bad, we blame somebody that we just want to blame for the sake of blaming somebody because we don't want to blame our guys. And it's the same thing with giving credit right now. As long as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are together, those will be the guys that get credit. And Brett's the best because, Brett's not out there waving the flag like Howie Roseman is, asking for all credit. Look at me, smoke a cigar, took a beer to the face, all that kind of stuff.
That's tight.
Trying to be I'm out on him.
Yeah.
He
Brett purposely take the beer to the dome.
But he's now doing the world tour about it. Here's where I got hit with a beer and all this kind of stuff. Like Brett Veach is fine being behind the scenes and doing his thing and letting Andy and Patrick have all of that. That's great. But this is the guy who makes this thing run. This is the cog in all of this. This is the guy who's finding these players and saying, these are the guys we're going to take. These are the guys. And all of his scouts as well. And even the Athletic. No team has done more with less in recent drafts than the Chiefs.
Facts.
And that's all you need to know about Brett Veach. Has he been flashy like this Howie Roseman or, running out there and trying to get his name in lights like Howie always is, then maybe people would respect Brett Veach more. But that's why this works also, too, here in Kansas City. Brett understands, hey, man, Andy Reid's been around a long time. Andy Reid's had a lot of success. I'm going to let Andy take all the credit for this. I'll just continue to give him players, and my check's going to cash. And that's the way he looks at it. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Brett's never wanted the spotlight. I don't even know that he likes Brett Veach Town, quite honestly, and his mom loves the song.
I just think it's a different person. I don't think there's anything wrong. If Howie Roseman was not developing players and not drafting well, then yeah, I think it would be kind of annoying for him to go out there and toot his own horn. But I mean, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, he's won 1, or maybe he's been to more than that. But I know he won 1 last year and had great drafts. I mean, if his personality is, hey, look at their team. Andy Reid's one of the most humble guys in the world. Yeah. You don't see. I mean, Andy Reid was at the Royals game last night, sitting front row behind home plate, wasn't announced. I mean, Nick Sirianni got Big Dom. That's Philadelphia. You got to lean into that. If Howie isn't that personality in Philadelphia, I don't know if it works. But you got to be that guy, at least in my opinion. Now, there's other people that like that and some people that don't. But taking a can of beer to the dome and then putting a cigar in your mouth, and continuing the parade's pretty tight.
Yeah, we should continue this a little bit more on the other side. There's some other thoughts I think
that you have.
Yeah, that we should share on this.
He's got some takes to spit.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Honestly, if you got some takes to spit on this, but that's fine. But it's like you look at the free world right now, and everybody thinks Howie Roseman walks on water, and people are like, Brett who again? Oh, Andy Reid's guy.
Never heard of him. Coming up on the other side, Max spits some takes on Howie Roseman and Brett Veach here on 96.5 The Fan. Your home, Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, if you want to show off your arm and you think you got the accuracy of our star quarterback, then Foaling is the place for you. Go out there and show them you're the best quarterback in Kansas City and knock down all of those pins with the football. That's what Foaling is all about. It's football plus bowling plus bar, and that's Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. Foaling Warehouse KC is a mashup of football and bowling, drinks, and fun. It's pretty simple, right? You're going to set up the bowling pins just like you would for bowling, and then you're going to throw the football at them. More importantly, throw that football underhand. You're going to have more control. It's going to be easier, and you're going to win if you use the underhand method. The long snappers have the best success at foaling, and you're going to have a blast, whether you're on a date, whether you're having a kid's birthday party there, whether you're having your wife's 50th birthday party there like we did, or you're doing a work event. Foaling has got you covered. Monday nights, they have Beer League Jeopardy as well. Prizes are awarded for first and second place, and you can also also bring your own food to Foaling. Whether you want to have it delivered or dropped off, you can do all of that at Foaling. So check them out at FoalingKC.com. And don't forget about that magic beer fridge where they got great beer specials every single day of the week. That's FoalingKC.com. Get your Foal on.
If severe weather hit you last year, don't worry, Century Roofing is here. We have extended our free material upgrade sale on all roof replacements to celebrate our 35th anniversary. We'll provide an in-depth inspection to determine if enough damage exists to warrant filing a claim with your insurance company. See for yourself why Century Roofing has been voted Best of Johnson County for the 3rd year in a row. Press the pillars of strength, KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Buckle up and hang on, this is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together, so close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We've got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Rob Sight Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Kansas side, K10 eastbound, slows past K7. Stays pretty heavy over past Woodland with a stalled off to the shoulder, but folks are jumping out of that left lane to give them some more room. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber, locally owned and family operated from the start in 2012. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Start the show. We already did 2 hours and 20 minutes ago. Don't forget, Royals manager Matt Quattrero will join us on the 9 o'clock dot here on Fescoe and Dusty. We'll ask him who he thinks the Chiefs are taking in the 31st pick, or with the 31st pick, I should say. But yeah, Matt Quattrero, Royals manager, joins us at 9 a.m. here.
I hope he has a random name, like Hunter Norzad.
He's like, I don't know, man. Probably the best player available.
Hey, there you go.
Thanks, Q. And enjoy your 3-game winning streak tonight. They win last night against Colorado. They've won 2 in a row. I know it wasn't a fun game to watch, but
that was a difficult game to watch. I'm trying to think of the word I'm using for, like, trying to watch those two teams get a base hit was very, very difficult. It's like watching a bad 80s sitcom where you're trying to avert your eyes, man. Like, it's just, oh, God. Bases loaded, and we're out of the inning.
It's all right.
There were no outs. Yeah, we had 3 pop-ups on the infield for both teams. I mean, it was a chore to see those guys. And when Drew Waters hit that home run, shout out Drew Waters, I'm like, that's game over there. I thought the Royals would win 1-0 last night on a pass ball. Honest to God.
Yes, yeah.
That was my whole thought last night, and I should have texted you guys this. I'm like, they're going to win 1-0 on a pass ball. Like, Bobby's going to somehow get on, steal second, steal third, pass ball, Royals win 1-0, get a run without a hit. Right?
That's what it felt like.
Felt like it last night. Yeah. I felt like that going into the game, though.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that going into the game today.
I agree.
You know? Hey, Chris was really good last night, by the way. Bubich. Like, nice job. He really was boobalicious last night, man. That guy was good.
Yeah, I texted Vern last night. I was like, who's the MVP? Is it Boobalicious? Is it Freddie Fermin? 2 big plays late in the game. Threw the guy out at third, then got the game-winning hit. Or was it Drew Waters, who had 3 hits, who almost hit the cycle?
Yeah, double away from the cycle last night for Drew Waters. Yeah, he's making MJ Melendez look bad. Oof. Oh, wait, MJ did that to himself.
Yeah, he's still in AAA. But, yeah, so he said Bubic was your MVP last night in the Royals game.
Okay, he did.
Yep, he gave us that. So good to see that Bubic was still dealing. I mean, 7 scoreless, just absolutely hosing people down.
Yeah. And I don't care if it's against a minor league lineup or not. He looked good last night. Yeah.
Who cares? Dominate.
Yeah, beat teams that are worse than you.
Keep losing teams losing. Yep. And that's what they did with Colorado. You got to sweep the series. There's no exceptions. Not sweeping the series is a loss. You said you wanted to spit takes about Brett Veach being greater than Howie Roseman.
Well, I just think when we talk about Howie Roseman, the conversation should come up that one, he's done more trades and he's done this longer. I'm going to give Howie Roseman some credit first.
You can't keep a coach either.
You give Howie Roseman credit first. He's done it a long time and he's been really successful. He's had some great picks. He's made splashes, and you mentioned it, with trades, and I think that's what a lot of people A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley. If you look at the drafts, he's had a lot of misses.
Yeah, trade, yeah.
The worst pick in recent memory, Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, who was the very next pick in the first round.
But let's criticize Brett Veach for taking McCall Hardman over DK Metcalf, right?
And you talk about those trades. One blockbuster that he wanted to pull off but didn't, which he should be thankful for, and I'm sure he is.
But the Eagles are winning Super Bowls in the... Oh, wait, never mind.
Was in 2022. He tried to trade for Russell Wilson. He tried to give multiple firsts, a fifth, multiple players, a slew of picks.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yes, in 2022. And Russell Wilson turned it down. Seattle hadn't played. It was going to happen. And he wanted to go to Denver instead. But Howie Roseman gave everything. He said, Jalen Hurts, you're not it. I don't like you. So
he hasn't been able to judge the quarterback properly and benefited from trades and free agency in a trade that didn't happen, as opposed to a trade. That's good information. I didn't remember the Russell Wilson stuff. That sometimes you're a benefit of the things that don't happen in sports as opposed to the things that do happen. Same with life. I mean, sometimes the things that don't happen in life are the things that are ultimately the best things to happen for you. And so not getting Russell Wilson, maybe it saved Howie Roseman's job,
100% it did. I believe so.
And Nick Sirianni's job. We may be talking about a new GM and a new head coach in Philadelphia. That's a crazy one. I didn't know that. That's wild. That's good stuff. Diana Rossini reporting this morning that the Steelers, Browns, and Vikings could be involved in a trade for Kirk Cousins. That's right. You heard that correctly.
Whoa. Vikings?
Going back home?
Yeah, I guess they didn't get enough.
Justin Jefferson's like, please. Like,
what the hell is wrong with J.J. McCarthy?
That's
unproven.
Yeah.
Is it unproven, or did they look at him and go, oh?
Would you rather have J.J. McCarthy or Cam Ward?
Well, they're both unknown. I'll take J.J. McCarthy at this point.
I'll take Cam because of the
more of the unknown.
Athletics, the physical prowess.
J.J. McCarthy or Shador Sanders?
J.J. McCarthy.
I think J.J.
That man, he's getting some slander. His interview was the worst I've ever been in.
I saw that yesterday. Why are we doing this at this point in time? Who's that guy?
I forget who it was. But like,
put your name on it.
Worst interview I've ever been in was arrogant, self-entitled, didn't know anything, overrated talent. Wouldn't be surprised if he fell out of the first. I'm like, who did he get pissed off by?
Did you play wide receiver in the NFL and Deion locked you up for a couple of years? Or did you try to get on Deion's staff and he not hire you? Because that sounded as personal a comment as you can get to run down Shador Sanders. Look, do you think he's going to be a superstar in the NFL? A lot of people don't. That's fine. Say that. That's okay to say, I just don't think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. Okay, fine. But to say all that slanderous stuff about him that only you can prove, because it only happened to you, and it was the worst interview I've ever been a part of. How long you been in the NFL coaching, first of all? What team are you on? How many of these interviews have you taken part in? Like, stuff like that, it really kind of does bother me. But I'm more intrigued about this Kirk Cousins thing than anything, because Pittsburgh still needs a quarterback. They're on the list. The Browns, do they need a quarterback? I mean, you already have Joe Flacco. Why are you going to go get Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, that seems dumb.
I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question. That's why the Browns are the Browns. Seriously.
Maybe they saw Kirk Cousins or Joe Flacco come and throw at OTAs, and they're like, oh, shoot.
Like, okay.
But wasn't this Kirk Cousins stuff going on before Joe Flacco signed there to Cleveland? Like, I think it was, right?
This smoke's been there,
right.
Yeah.
So you signed Joe Flacco. You're going to go out and sign another grandpa to play quarterback? Like, what are we doing here? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Expensive grandpa.
Yeah, at that, because you're going to have to pick up a salary, give up picks to get him. Like,
none of that.
I don't get that. I don't get that. Like that. But again, that's why the Browns are the Browns. And then the Minnesota one, that tells me they don't think J.J. McCarthy is ready to go. If they're considering bringing back the guy that they got rid of because they had this guy on the forefront, and J.J. McCarthy, and now you're going to bring the guy back that you got rid of, like that doesn't ring good, in my opinion anyway, for J.J. McCarthy. Whether it's health-wise or whether it's talent, it doesn't appear that that's the guy in Minnesota at this point in time. But the reason I take him over Cam Ward is because he's already had a year with Kevin O'Connell, and I think Kevin O'Connell is becoming the new quarterback whisperer in the NFL.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Most recently, it feels
he's
like
got He's got what? Two.
Turn Sam Darnold into a good one. Turn Kirk Cousins into a good one, right?
So can I ask just a fun question? Is it Kevin O'Connell or is it Justin Jefferson?
He's done it with two different quarterbacks, though.
So it's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but I think the coach has to get credit.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's part of both, though. I think if Jefferson's not there, I still think we see the growth that's done by O'Connell, but not as much, right? I mean, geez, some of these plays, just Jefferson double coverage, mossing people.
Yeah, take Patrick Mahomes away from Andy Reid. He's not a good head coach. Like you take these guys away, and we're like, oh, well, not a lot because Justin Jefferson is really good, but I think Kevin O'Connell deserves some. And that coming from me is hard to do because I don't give any of these head coaches credit.
No, you don't.
Most of them are losers.
You could do it.
I could for a lot of these teams. Absolutely, I could. You hire the right people. You put people in place. That's leadership, man. You take a step back. You put people in position. You allow them to do their job. You love them up. You give them all the resources that they need. That's what a good leader does, right? You don't need to be in there every day to X's and O's. But so many of these coaches are not good leaders. They don't have the people skills. They don't know how to lead an organization. It's so much more about the X's and O's. Kevin O'Connell feels to me like he's kind of that whole package. I'm interested to see this next step for Kevin O'Connell, but I like what I see so far out of that guy.
Because I find it interesting that we're able to give Kevin O'Connell credit, but nothing towards Ben Johnson.
With Jared Goff?
Jared Goff was in the Super Bowl, though, with another team.
With Sean McVay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like.
Jared Goff did get better with Detroit.
He did. And again, St. Brown, Laporta, Williams.
A lot of talent.
Gibbs, Montgomery.
O-line.
O-line's good. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess Ben Johnson's big shot is Caleb Williams. Like as Kevin O'Connell's was
Arnold.
There you go. So you look at so I guess that would be why you could give him a little bit more credit, right? Like Kevin O'Connell actually was the man, the head coach, doing it with Sam Darnold that nobody but Max saw coming that could have a solid year. Credit where credit's due. And then, now Ben Johnson, it's like, all right, man, like Caleb Williams, go do what that guy did in Carolina or in Minnesota. And then maybe try to be this, this guy in Chicago.
Why couldn't it have been Dan Campbell that gets all the credit for Jared Goff? Too? Like we give head coaches credit, right? But in Detroit, it's like, well, Ben Johnson. Well, Dan Campbell's a tight end and an offensive guy. Like, why doesn't he get the credit? Because he said he bites kneecaps, so everybody thinks he's like an idiot.
Meathead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why doesn't Dan Campbell get the credit for the offense in Detroit? It's weird how we view things, isn't it? Like, just this whole conversation is so like how we view things and how perception and first impressions matter so much to so many people. Because the first impression you had of Dan Campbell was what? Oh my God, pure beef eating kneecaps. This guy's never going to be successful. And then he is successful. It's like, well, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are the greatest coordinators we've ever seen. Like, we don't want to give him credit as the head coach, but we'll give, I don't know, Kevin O'Connell credit as the head coach, or like Mike McDaniel down in Miami. Everybody loved Mike McDaniel. He's going to be this great head coach, But for whatever reason, Dan Campbell has led that turnaround. And everybody's like, the coordinators.
Never mind. Just the usual texter. Thank you. No, like my first impression of Dan Campbell was like, boy, I hope it works out.
Yes,
I wasn't like this guy's a meathead or anything like that. I was just like, that's a bold press conference because everybody in Detroit that does sports radio has
heard that.
He won the press conference today. And, like, it worked out. Like, you got, like...
It's a big year for Dan Campbell, though. It is.
For sure. Yeah, the birds are there's no longer... The birds have flown the nest.
Right.
Like, your kids are gone off to do their own thing now.
And now you're with your wife for alone going, what are we going to do tonight?
You guys hear that? Oh, it's nothing. That's nice.
Yeah.
No, but it's kind of the same way with, like, when you look at coaches that can be something that have come from some sort of proven background... You look at a guy that's press conference, like that Duval guy. Like if he goes out there in Jacksonville and he's just fine, they'll forget about Willie Wonka.
Absolutely.
But like you look at Adam Gase, man, remember when he was on mushrooms trying to do that press conference?
The eyes,
done.
Right.
Like done. But if it worked out, then you're
fine with it.
Right. Yeah. So I mean it'll be interesting to see.
Or if you lose the press conference, like Nick Sirianni lost the press conference. His opening press conference as the Eagles head coach was like romper room. I don't know if you guys, it was bad. And people are like, oh my God. And this guy's gone on and taken his team to 2 Super Bowls. So like the press conference stuff, while we judge everything based on that, Nick Sirianni is proof that you could lose the press conference and still be a very good coach, even though they still don't like him in Philadelphia. Yeah. Or you can win the press conference like Dan Campbell, and people be like, I don't know if this is going to work. I've seen this before in Detroit. So, like, those press conferences are funny back and forth how they go. But perception, man, that first impression that you have really does set the tone for, I think, how you view players and people. And, they say the first impression is the most important, and it is because we form those initial kind of, perceptions of everything, and then we live off them forever. We're so unwilling to change once we've made our mind up, And that's why I am like Kevin O'Connell a year ago. I didn't know who the guy was. Never heard of him. Looks like Matt Fleener, right? Now I'm looking at Kevin O'Connell. I'm like, damn, that guy's a really good head coach. It's okay to change your opinion of things when you get evidence, right? Like Travis Kelce, first year, doesn't play. He stinks. He's going to be no good. Well, as we progressed along, we realized, he's pretty damn good, right? You change your perception of that guy or whoever that may be. I'm sure nobody had a good impression of Ned Yost when he first came in. Oh, this guy was fired a week before the playoffs in Milwaukee. Yours truly, right? I had a song about it, for God's sake. It was a good one.
Now they're best friends.
Yeah, but you change your perception of things as stuff goes along. It's okay to do that, but for whatever reason, like we get so wedded into our beliefs that we don't want to change. Like it's okay to say Mike McDaniel in Miami is not a very good head coach.
Even though we thought he was great for the first year or two, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's okay to change that impression.
It's okay to change that, that perception that you have of that guy.
Sometimes people are overrated. And that leads us into our next topic, which was they did a NBA Central or the Dunk Central on Twitter, did a poll they took it from The Athletic, and it says, who is the league's most overrated player? There were 90 votes casted on NBA players overrated. Want to take a guess who is number one?
LeBron James.
No. He was way down the list.
That guy who got fined $50,000 yesterday by the NBA, Anthony Edwards.
Should have been 100. No, it was actually the guy that used a referee as a shield last night to talk smack to Dame Lillard. That is Tyrese Halliburton. He was the most overrated voted player in the NBA. Following was Rudy Gobert, Trae Young, Jimmy Butler. That's
Trae Young.
Yeah.
People hate that guy.
Hate Trae Young.
Like, is he on the Mount Rushmore of athletes that universally everybody just hates now in professional sports?
Well, you know who he was traded for in draft day?
Yes, I do. And I can't remember now.
You should. He's a pretty popular player in the NBA. I guess just got traded. Think of Nico Harrison.
Oh, Jokic?
Yep. No.
Close. Doncic.
Luka.
Yes. Yeah, who you're thinking.
White foreign guy, Iksh.
Exactly. Close.
But yeah, so half a credit.
Thank you.
But no, so I asked the question, who's the most overrated NFL player?
Oh, that's easy. I got 3. Allen, Burrow, and Herbert. I mean, it's pretty easy.
The quarterbacks?
Absolutely. Combined, they have one Super Bowl appearance and no wins. Allen, Burrow, and Herbert. 1, 2, 3.
Jeez.
3 most overrated players in the NFL.
But Lamar's not?
No, I love Lamar. He's my guy. Lamar should hire me as his PR guy.
Clear the drawers, mop the floors. Yeah.
Lamar should hire me as his PR guy
it's his mom.
because I will go to the mat for Lamar. And I have no reason to whatsoever other than I love him as a person. I love him as a player. I just love Lamar Jackson. Give me all the Lamar, baby.
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin. 3 of the top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Exactly. Herbert, that's fine. I'll accept Herbert right now because he has yet to do something in the playoffs. That's fine.
What is Allen and Burrow? I mean, Burrow did beat the Chiefs, get to the AFC,
the
Super Bowl. Fine.
Allen's been to 2 AFC championships, and he's given the Chiefs everything.
Not all of it, though. Chiefs gave it right back to him and then some. Look at that final score, baby.
Yeah, I'm not.
Chiefs more, Bills less. Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, happy birthday to local celebrity Jimmy Gaffney. He's celebrating his birthday today.
Oh, nice.
Shout out Jimmy Gaffney. Saw him yesterday. Let's go,
cool.
Jimmy. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yimbo. Mac, you got an overrated NFL player? It's making me think.
Week 4 it will be Saquon Barkley, I promise you.
Oh, stop.
Ooh. Week 4 it could be Tyreek Hill.
Oh, he's on the list now.
You think he's on the list right now?
Is this bad for me to say Bijan Robinson?
Oh, no. Come on. Yeah, he's good.
Okay,
he's
but
really
he was
good.
supposed to be like Jahmyr Gibbs good.
I think he is Jahmyr Gibbs good.
Numbers-wise?
Yeah, I think numbers-wise. Yeah,
we have to look.
Yeah.
I went naked into that. I didn't look at his numbers because I know year one. Now, this is me being biased. I was fantasy football guy, drafted him.
This is where it comes from. See, this is the perception stuff that's so much fun.
The numbers weren't there in fantasy. Like they just weren't. But they also had
Tyler Algier.
They had that nasty stash guy leading the team.
Schemes?
They had
no, his is nice.
Had Desmond Ridder.
Yeah,
the Riddler.
And then they also had they were giving the ball to like the other guy,
Tyler Algier, who had 1,000 yards
and
as well.
Cordell Patterson.
Yes, exactly.
So I was like, all right, is the hype train not there? I'm trying to think of like maybe I'm missing somebody because text line 913-586-7965. Who is somebody that you believe is Dak on that list?
Oh, Dak's a good one.
He's kind of over
Oh God, yes.
There we go. Yeah, Dak's a good one.
Yeah, anybody who plays quarterback for the Cowboys is automatically overrated.
God, who else is overrated?
Stephon Diggs overrated? Or he's just getting older because he was a stud.
He was amazing.
So I think age you have to take out. You have to put somebody like something in that age of like 27 to 28.
Yeah,
that like everyone thinks is just this all time awesome. Like just has all. And it's like what? No, he's not.
No, he's not.
That's tough.
Hey, even Raider fans are not overrated at this point in time. Their SB Nation page did a poll: should the Raiders trade for Tyreek Hill? 77% of Raider fans said no.
Damn.
So you want to talk about overrated? Tyreek Hill is going to be on that list. But I don't know if he's 31 years old right now. Was it a year ago that he was the number one player in the NFL?
Yep, last year.
Last year at this time, he was the number one player in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Does he make the top 100 this year?
Yes. He'll make the top 50.
Yes.
Okay.
DK Metcalf. That's
a good one.
That'd be one of my answers.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, to bring it back to the Brett Veach conversation. Yeah, the DK Metcalf.
Yeah. This guy has a six-pack and runs in a straight line and 6'4". People just think he's the best guy ever.
Robinson balled last year.
What is Bijan Robinson?
Yeah. He balled 304 attempts for 1,456 yards, 14 touchdowns.
Would either of the Boses be on that list?
Yes.
Joey.
Yeah.
What about Christian McCaffrey?
No.
Even factoring in play a year, miss a year, play a year, miss a year, that kind of stuff.
Christian McCaffrey, Mike Trout, Kawhi Leonard, start bench cut.
I'm starting Christian McCaffrey, benching Mike Trout, cutting Kawhi Leonard.
Starting Kawhi Leonard and benching Mike Trout and cutting McCaffrey. Kawhi has a title.
Cutting the only one with a title.
Yeah.
And basically like the reason they won the title.
100%.
That was like
2019.
That was like the birth of Kyrie. Or I mean of Kawhi.
Yeah, right. That laugh. Yeah. The laugh is so good.
The claw, it moves.
But does anybody remember them winning?
I mean, Kevin Durant got hurt and Klay Thompson got hurt and they won the championship. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, his rookie year, 976 rushing yards on 214 attempts.
What about, who did I just say? I said one of the Boses.
Yeah. Nick Bosa is a stud. He's won Defensive Player of the Year twice. He's been to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He's a specimen.
But Joey
Bosa's, got to be on that list, right?
Overrated NFL player.
Taylor Lewan was kind of overrated for when he played. I felt like he had one great season.
I think he's overrated now. Like, you mentioned his name in Chiefs fans, like, we got to get that guy. He hasn't played like Colin Kaepernick style. Like, that guy hasn't played in like 10 years, and every 10 minutes there's a new story about him getting ready to play in the NFL. I've been getting ready to play in the NFL. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But that was an overrated player. He wasn't any good.
Some people say Brock Purdy, Najee Harris.
Brock Purdy's an interesting one.
George Pickens, or is it a problem of quarterback?
That's fair.
And then somebody says Odell Beckham Jr. was severely overrated. He made 1 catch.
I'm with you on the Odell Beckham Jr. thing. He lived off of that catch for a long, long time.
He did more than 1 catch, but that's fair.
Overrated. Overrated. Yeah, we're talking overrated.
Yeah, way overrated.
Odell Beckham, way overrated on that one. Anybody that the Browns have drafted.
That's another one. His name still comes up. Oh, we should get OBJ.
Yeah.
This guy hasn't played.
OBJ? I'd rather have LBJ.
Yeah, whose legs are better, LBJ or OBJ's? Ever since that cruise, man, it just never went the same.
That's really, you're not wrong.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I mean, the Giants have not recovered from that. Odell Beckham Jr. really hasn't recovered from that.
I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. literally has 5,000-yard seasons, and his first 3 seasons in the league were not overrated. His first 3 seasons in the league, he had 91 for 1,305 and 12 touchdowns as a damn rookie. His second year, he had 96 for 1,450 and 13 touchdowns. His third year, he had 101 for 1,367 and 10 touchdowns. Dude had 35 touchdowns and 3,000-yard seasons in his first 3 seasons in the league. That can't be overrated.
Yeah, I think
but
he
what
had
happened
the record
after that?
After that, yeah.
Then he got hurt.
But that's an NFL career, 3 years.
But then no. But then he got hurt, and then he had 77 for 1,052 and 6, and then he had 74 for 1,035 and 4. So I mean that's
on Cleveland.
And his first 6 years, no, those were both with the
Those
Giants.
were still with Giants.
The second one, the 1,035 was with Cleveland. But his first 5 years his first 6 years in the league, he had 5,000-yard seasons. And he had a slew of touchdowns.
And he was like first in his first 4 years of a wide receiver.
I don't think he was overrated. He just turned 28.
And
got old. He got old. And then he
cliff.
missed an entire year because he didn't sign, is what it says on Pro Football Reference.
Yeah,
So-
remember that. Guys get old fast, and it happens overnight. Like, I hate to be this guy, but, like, you're going to see that with Tyreek Hill this year, right? And he's got a lot of other things going on that he needs to get figured out, like life, how to be an adult, all that kind of stuff. But you're also going to see the production.
That's like horseradish.
You're going to see the production drop because he's 31 years old. I mean, the only people that age really doesn't get to anymore are these star quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's because the NFL does such a great job of protecting them. I know we don't like it all the time, and we kind of whine and cry a little bit when you can't hit the quarterback, but you got to preserve these guys because without the quarterbacks, we don't have a league, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're watching Salvi kind of get old right now.
Yeah.
Watching Kelsey do the same.
Kyler Murray might be overrated.
Oh, God,
Good
yes,
one.
yeah. But he would have to be rated first.
Yeah, that might be done now. He might now officially people be like, he's not good. Yeah.
Russell Wilson?
He threw an interception in a Super Bowl. It wasn't his fault. Well, coming up on
You got to audible out of that, man. I don't care what your coach says.
I don't care, dude. Get out.
You hand it off, you win a Super Bowl, ain't nobody complaining that you audibled out of that.
Bob asked us a question. What's the one place you'd like to get completely jacked up with your father? 913-586-7965. You and Pops going out, taking a few for the road, taking a few for the store, and everything else impossible could be happening. I don't know what I just said, but coming up next, where do you want to get messed up with your dad? 913-586-7965. 7965. Listen to Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, it's almost a given that better medical practice generally leads to better outcomes for patients. And if you suffer with erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. Heartland Men's Health practices better medicine. They're the leader in treating men's sexual health issues right here in Kansas City. And as you know, ED is a terrible condition. It causes stresses in relationships. It creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man, and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. Heartland Men's Health has treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner, right here in Kansas City. With $215 billion in business loans and over 3,700 business specialists across the nation, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Prices are going up everywhere. Tariffs may drive up costs across the country, but not at Legacy Box.
Why? Because we're proudly 100% American made. Every tape, film reel, and photo you send stays right here in the USA, digitized by skilled technicians who know your memories are priceless.
Introducing the Legacy Box All-American Sale. Just $9 per tape. Not $15, not $12, just $9.
We're the nation's #1 digitizer, trusted by over 1 million families because we've made it simple. Just fill your Legacy Box with old tapes, film reels, and photos. We'll digitize them by hand and return everything, plus digital copies on the cloud you can relive and share forever.
With Legacy Box, your memories are safe from tariffs and safe from time. Heat, humidity, and age are already destroying your family's history, so take advantage of our limited time $9 tape sale.
Visit legacybox.com/value to lock in savings today. That's legacybox.com/value. Legacy Box, American made, trusted by families.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading property, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley Equipment has the machines you need to get the job done. And right now, Foley has 0% financing on new cat skid steers, mini excavators, and compact track loaders. Stop by any Foley Equipment location today or visit us at FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
One of the busiest times of the year is here, and Smokehouse Barbecue is going to make things a whole lot easier. Grad parties, Mother's Day, and baseball. For your grad party, you can pick up carry-out or have it delivered. Smokehouse also has banquet rooms at each location for your grad party. Bring mom to Smokehouse for Mother's Day and treat her to the best barbecue in town. And if you're heading to a ball game, grab Smokehouse carry-out and take it to the game. Check out Smokehouse Barbecue in Independence, Zona Rosa, or Gladstone, and at smokehousebbq.com. It's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Missouri side, 29 southbound. Slows around 60th Avenue. Gets heavier approaching Levee. Then off again on again sluggish into downtown from there. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Locally owned and family operated from the start in 2012. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. Alan Card, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
It's sad that we're talking about this because why it's sad is because Tom Brady has now reached that category where he's doing the dad dance at Coachella. Like it looked like Matt Nagy winning the Super Bowl in front of Union Station.
How's he supposed to dance?
Doing the dad dance. It's just funny.
That is funny.
I mean, it is. I mean, you get to that point, you're like, all right, I'm 47. I'm going to do.
You can't hide it.
The dad dance, right?
You can't hide it.
Can't hide it. And so Travis Scott's performing. And the video is great too because Brady's son's like, all right. You're still my dad. Like, really? You're Tom Brady. It's like, hey. Like Tom's dancing, like the seas parting, right? Like everybody's around him, kind of going, okay, hoodie, jeans, 47, like, woo. You know, you've seen it. We've all been there. And so I saw that the other day. I'm like, that's kind of cool, right? Like if you're Tom Brady's son, but again, it's still dad right?
Yeah.
You know? And so I asked you guys, where's the coolest place you've ever gotten, the party on, dude, with your dad? Have you?
Yeah, a couple times. I've been at the lake where, I was at the age that finally I could have fun. And we let loose there. Went to the Bruce Springsteen concert a few years back. That was awesome. Didn't get like jacked up, like hammered, but like I was doing fine. Like I was buzzing. And then it was like Born to Run hits, and I look over at my dad, and he looks like a 16-year-old girl at a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, all right, he's at another level I've never seen before.
That's such a great song. God, I mean, I wish we could play it.
No.
You have like, Born to Walk back there?
We have Birth to Jog.
Birth to Jog,
Yeah,
okay.
That's the cover song.
Yeah. By Bill Springsteen, Bruce's brother.
Yeah, I can't even say Springsteen. But no, that, and then we were at the ALD, when they beat Baltimore, ALCS.
ALCS, yeah.
I was there with him, and when Gordon like crashed into the wall, he did one of those like, are you kidding me? And I was like, right in front of us, right below us. So yeah, that was there. I mean, I'd love to, like, if I could have, I wish I would have had the opportunity. I don't now. We talk kind of ties in the two what ifs at the end of the hour. Go to like a Buffett concert.
Yeah, I got to do that a couple of times with my dad. Wrigley was pretty cool.
That's dope.
We saw him twice in Chicago for whatever reason because that's like Buffett was mad at Kansas City for a while. Wasn't playing here.
Tickets.
Yeah, there was some ticket thing that took place, so you had to always go out of town.
Never come back.
Yeah, and so you had to go out of town to see him all the time. And so we did 2 shows in Chicago that were a lot of fun. I think the most memorable time I was, partying, if you will, to use the term loosely, we were in a Mexican town called Ciudad Acuña, which is a border town.
See you, Dad?
Yeah, see you, Dad, right? Yeah, see, when it was almost see you, Dad. But no, Ciudad Acuña, right across the Rio Grande from Eagle Pass. I would say West Texas, but it's not west, west of San Antonio for about 2 hours. And the year prior, we had gone to Laredo. And in Laredo, you just walk around and you drink and you have yourself a good time. Well, we did that in Ciudad Acuña, and the police officers were on us in seconds. And we're like, well, in Laredo, you can do this. They go, you're not in Laredo. If you don't go back inside that bar, we're taking you to jail. And so I'll always remember that town, Ciudad Acuña, with my father and I almost getting arrested and sent to a Mexican prison because we were drinking a Dos Equis on the street. Very nice town. Nothing like Laredo. Very calm, not a lot of people there, just a different experience. And I'm like, all right, we could do this. But no, that was a big mistake, on my part. And then my dad, I've always told the story. My dad passed out going into a football game, watching the Giants in the year 2000. Was so excited. We were home, drank like half a bottle of tequila in the parking lot. Couldn't get in the turnstile of the game. They let the man in, and then everybody pelted him with snowballs because he passed out the whole time. So I've had some experiences.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
See you, Dad equals city.
Yes, of course.
That's what the text line says.
Oh, thanks.
God. Somebody says, I would have to say Smokehouse Barbecue, Hy-Vee, Maloney's, The Landing, or Sand Trap for me and my father to get messed up.
That's outstanding. Yeah, way to go.
Somebody from the 913 says Kansas Speedway twice a year. A couple times ago, he fell in the fire.
Oh, nice. So you've had the same experience.
I'm burning for you. When I was in college and he came to a party and there was a line of guys attempting to beat my dad in a beer bong race, he was never beaten.
That is awesome.
Frank the Tank came out. No Home Depot the next day. Somebody says, my dad doesn't smoke, but I'd love to just go on a nice viewpoint and smoke a J with him and chat it up. Your dad, if he doesn't smoke, may not chat.
Yeah.
You might be like tapping him on the head, be like, Dad, you still with us? Is there a Sonic close? Yeah, that would be funny. And then you're like, nah. He's like, nah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Makes a lot of sense. What about you, Mac? Have you ever had an experience?
Yeah, they went to Applebee's.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. You got the $1 margarita that they wrung out the dish rag with and filled your glass, then microwaved it.
How do they microwave it?
Yeah, AFC Championship game, the first one against the Titans we were at, and that was amazing. That was just surreal. And then we took a ski trip before the Super Bowl against the Bucks, and we had a couple nice nights.
I love you, Dad.
Say
it. Never says it.
Did you miss the Super Bowl that year because you had planned a bad trip like you did this year almost and missed it?
No, we saw it. Sadly, unfortunately, I saw that one. Yeah,
that's all right. It's better to have seen than to have never seen before. Which for 50 years we didn't see squat.
Jack Diddley.
Hello, Dad. I got good news and I got bad news. Good news is Mom's still alive. Bad news is she's sleeping with my boss, Raj, king of the slams.
Love to see that someday. I'm just kidding. Either way, we look at it. We have the Royals manager, Matt Quatrero, on the other side, and I want to ask him once again, did he witness what Jack Caglione did last night? Because it was Cy Young killing for the man in Northwest Arkansas. You're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're probably living with some chronic joint pain and you don't want to do it anymore, right? We've all had those aches and pains, and they stink. They hamper what we can do. You want to go out and play a round of golf or pickleball or tennis or just kind of hang out with the kids, but that joint pain is bothering you and you're just now trying to get by. But you know what? There's an answer for you. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Kansas City are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that help calm that debilitating joint pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your back. And with QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. And everybody's talking about QC Kinetics. If you're curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments, no problem. The consultation is totally free, and people are getting their healthier lives back and breaking free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now's the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Baseball is back. Time to get your game day grill going. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal at the ballpark or sear the best steak ever while listening to the game on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
It's here, Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale. Take an extra 20% off our already renowned prices. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off your purchase. That's 20% off plus $100 off store-wide. Explore an expanded selection of trending engagement ring settings, his and hers wedding bands, must-have fine jewelry, and more. But hurry, this limited-time sale ends April 27th, and we're even open this Sunday. Don't miss out. Visit diamondsdirect.com for details.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Royals coverage sponsored by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, a contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Located in KC and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 435 eastbound past Antioch with an accident blocking 2 center lanes. The right exit lanes get by, the 2 left lanes are available, but delays are building quickly towards Quivira. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey man, good morning, how do you do? Hey man, just wanna talk about the boys in blue. Hey man, now that you've been here a year, what's your favorite KCQ? Hey man, what's new in the clubhouse, the bullpen and the lineup too?
Welcome back into the 9 o'clock hour. We'll be joined by Royals manager Matt Ferrer here in a second. You are listening to 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ, FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, here on the radio waves. I want to let you listen to the song a little longer. That's right. We are now joined with the manager of the Royals, Matt Cotrero. So I want to ask you, Manager Q, last night's MVP, in your opinion, Chris Bubic, Freddie Fermin, or Drew Waters?
Well, tough not to go with Freddie getting us out of that jam in the 10th there, and then the big hit. I mean, that's a real testament to him to know that, he's going to be ready whenever he's called on. That's pretty special, because you sit there for 8 innings or 9 innings, whatever it was, and then come in and be able to impact the game that much. But, I would say him, but close second would be Bubic. You can't overlook 7 shutout innings too often in a big league game.
Yeah, he was really, really impressive for you guys last night, and you needed it. That wasn't a great road trip. You get home, you put all that in the past, and now you've won 2 in a row. How good is it for you guys just to be home and get that road trip in the past and be able to now focus on moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going back in time. I wish we could. I'd like to do that road trip over. I think, that's a tough trip. Result-wise, we knew it was going to be a tough trip with the teams we were playing, but we need to be able to figure out how to win some of those games. So I'd like to do it over again, but unfortunately you don't get that opportunity. So now our focus is on what's right in front of us, and we got to keep playing to a higher level, more consistently to reach our potential.
You mentioned going back in time, and now I've got like Dr. Brown and Marty McFly on the brain. Thanks, Q. And so if you could take that DeLorean back to the beginning of that road trip, you said you learned things, you wish you could have done some things differently. What are some of those things, and are those some things that you can use moving forward with this team too?
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's no magic button to push for hitting, right? Hitting's hard. We know that. You're facing really good pitching on a nightly basis. The ability to impact, you saw the at-bats we had against Scooble on Sunday, this last year's Cy Young Award winner. I think just making sure that the at-bats are that intentful all the time. That's a really tough thing to measure, because sometimes you can have the best intent and even execute and you don't get the result you want. But just understanding the level of focus and concentration that I need, that our staff needs, that our players need at all times in order to be, in the mix at the end of the year.
Talking with Matt Quattrero here on 96.5 The Fan. And the guy that we mentioned at the beginning, too, Drew Waters, has kind of stepped it up nicely for you guys since his call-up, replacing MJ, in that lineup on an everyday basis. Really, really good last night. What have you seen from him in his limited, opportunities so far? And have you seen kind of what you needed to see for him to turn that corner and be a guy that stays up here now?
Well, what I've seen is, what we would have expected from Drew. We know he's immensely talented physically. Everybody at this level doesn't develop at the exact same rate. Mm-hmm. And Drew had, some opportunity in 23, but we were a vastly different team in 23 too. And now that he's had some ability to put in perspective what he learned that year, and continue to grow as a player, I think we're seeing a more mature Drew. I think we're seeing somebody that understands a little bit more about what it takes to help win in the big leagues. We use the term turn the corner. I don't know if you ever truly turn the corner. I mean, superstar players might turn the corner, but I think most guys, it's a daily, hey, we got to figure it out today. You don't feel the same every day. You don't think the same every day. You have to figure out how to compete at your highest level every day, and I think that's what Drew is figuring out right now.
Somebody else that seems to be figuring that out as well, Q, is Maikel Garcia. How impressed have you been with his continued success in the way that he just seems to be a total team guy, laying down bunts, getting on, stealing bases, doing what he needs to do? Had a hell of a play last night at second. I thought he was safe, but Maikel Garcia keeps doing his thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy. That's part of when you look at the growth of this team, you're looking at Maikel coming up as a 22-year-old. Now he's 24. He's an extremely young guy and inexperienced at the big league level. I mean, he's learning right in front of all of our eyes, and that's not always an easy thing to do. He's in a similar boat to Drew that in 23, we were a drastically different team. Now, Maikel played all year with us last year. He's made some nice physical adjustments at the plate. He's gotten stronger physically. He's also improved a lot with the mental part of the game. And I think that's what's fun. When you see him every single day, you're going to see good games, you're going to see bad games with result-wise. But what I'm seeing with him is that growth of understanding how to handle his successes and his failures. And that puts him in a better position the next day to come out and be the best version of himself.
Yeah, I really like the way that he's kind of just been that guy that it's almost like he's a moment guy, right? I'm not saying that he's got to go up there and try to hit the 5-run home run, but like what's best for the team. And it seems like that kind of has a trickle-down effect. We saw what happened to Freddie Fermin last night. I thought that, the crowd getting behind him delivering in the extra innings, getting the game-winning hit. Is that something, and I know that this isn't really your style, but like you were in the locker room last night, a walk-off's a walk-off. I don't care if it's Colorado or the New York Yankees. You walk off any team and win an extras, it's special, it's fun. Was there a very loud and very vibrant feeling in that locker room that maybe we hadn't seen on that road trip?
Well, for sure. I mean, and that's one of the things these guys do a great job of. They celebrate every win, and that's because we know how hard it is to win in the big leagues. I mean, you can talk about whoever you want. This is a tough schedule, an easy schedule, who you're playing, who's pitching for whatever. Every night it's hard to win. There are no layups. And when you understand that and you approach it that way, you deserve to celebrate the wins because they're tough. You can't take them for granted. But absolutely, the guys were fired up. They were happy for Freddie. They were happy for the whole team. And, you know, nobody was happier than Estevez to be able to celebrate when, you know, it didn't go his way last night.
Yeah, that felt like one of those games, Q, if you guys did not win that thing, that felt like one of those games, at least for me, and I'm kind of joking about this, but like where you may have lost your cool, flip the spread type of moment. Like that had that feeling where you led the entire game, and then the ninth inning happens, and you get a couple outs and walk the bases loaded, and then the big hit, and you end up losing that game 3-2. Was that frustration starting to build inside of you? Or are you still able to be as calm as you always are?
Well, I mean, I think effort is one thing and performance is another. There was no lack of effort from any of our guys last night, and Carlos clearly wasn't out there trying to walk the bases loaded, and he's been so good for us. That's something that happens with high leverage relievers at times. You get beat, you know. That's just. But for Salvi to get the hit and Mike Kell to get the hit to set us up right after that in the bottom of the ninth, and for Massey to come through with the sac fly. That kind of stuff, that's effort, that's character, that's resolve, and that's never in question. So no, I would have been disappointed for sure if we hadn't won, but not because the guys weren't giving it their all.
Right. Win-win last night for me. The boys in blue take care of business in game 1 against the Rockies, and then I'm sure you've seen it by now. Maybe you haven't. Cy Young pitcher pitched to Jack Caglione last night, and he ate him for breakfast. That Jack Caglione did of Clayton Kershaw. What did you see any of that, or is that any impressive going opposite field with a double? I mean, the kid's starting to get hot again, man.
I did not see that. That's what I do after I talk to you guys is go through all the box scores and stuff. I did not realize that Kershaw pitched against them last night. No, but good for them. I mean, I've noticed they've scored a ton of runs. You know, the AA team scored a ton of runs. The high A team scored a ton of runs. So good for them for getting off to a good start.
And then our producer, Mac, is dying to know, who do you think the Chiefs are going to take with the 31st pick in the NFL draft tomorrow night?
You asked me that last week, and I have no idea.
Make up a name, because that's what we're doing.
I thought maybe you did some homework.
I hope they get whoever they want to make them as good as they can be.
I will not be listening.
Yeah, which is great. You're not listening to Vern on the way home?
I will follow the draft. I will be interested in who they take, but by no means would I have one iota of an idea who that will be.
Do you have any iota when we do the baseball draft, though, either in your position? Because you don't focus on that, you know?
I'll hear the names that they're talking about, and, you know, if it's a college guy, you know, be able to look at his stats or watch some video and stuff like that. But, no, I'm not involved at all in the draft.
Is it hard for the baseball side of things because you don't see immediate results with a draft? Like, do you wish at times it was like the NFL where you draft a guy and that guy's either starting for you or becoming a big player for you overnight?
I wouldn't say it's hard because you're just used to that. That's what the system is. Like if that had been the norm to take guys and bring them right up, and then all of a sudden they took that away, then that would be difficult. But the expectation is that you draft guys and they take 2, 3, 5 years to get to the big league. So no, it's not difficult at all. I mean, it's fun to start following those guys, and then the more you get to see them in spring training and follow them through their seasons, that's awesome. And, you know, there's a lot made of the first round picks and the second round picks, but it's really fun to follow the guys that aren't those high picks too and see how they develop.
Yeah, like a Vinny Pasquantino type of player, you know, a guy that wasn't a first or second round draft pick, and here he is, you know, up at the big league level. How much different would baseball be if we got rid of the minor leagues and everybody that got drafted went right to the big leagues that year?
I don't think it could be any more different. And I don't know how you could function without a minor league. You know, they'd have to have some sort of, like they do in the NFL, right? Practice squad players and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that would be immensely different. And then you would lose some of the, you know, the veteran guys that you would be used to hanging on to and used to getting to know, and the city embraces and that kind of stuff. So that would change things about as drastically as you could change them.
Q, last one for you here. We had a question earlier today on our show, which you could go back in time and see any band or artist that is no longer alive. Who would you choose?
Oh, wow. Well, off the top of my head, the first name that came to mind would be Chuck Berry.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's an interesting one.
The old Axeman, huh? Well.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Chuck Berry, watching him shred on the guitar. Well, Q, hey, go shred the Colorado Rockies. Go take 2 more, sweep those guys, and get ready for Houston. We'll be locked in tonight.
Okay, guys. Have a great day.
You too. That was Matt Cotrero, manager of the Kansas City Royals. Coming up, manager of The Drive. Carrington Harrison joins us for his draft insight on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home, Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, those of you that got kids know that if you can impress a teenager, you can impress anybody, right? Well, the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have impressed my teenage daughters. They show up to the house and they go, man, our lawn looks great. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not trying to do anything anymore. I've let the college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control take over, and they've done an unbelievable job. Our grass is green. It is lush. There are no weeds. There are no dandelions. And they've only put down that one application, and it already looks awesome. I'm so excited to drive up to the house every day and see how spectacular our lawn looks. And I can't wait until they put that mosquito dome over our house where we're going to have the opportunity to sit outside all spring and summer long and not worry about getting eaten by mosquitoes or not worried about our dog with the fleas and the ticks. It's going to be spectacular this spring and summer at our house. So if you mention that you heard Aspen Lawn and Pest Control right here on 96.5 The Fan, they're going to give you up to half off your first application, and they offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control as well. Expect the best. Don't wait. Get with them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to come up on one of the busiest times of the year. It's graduation time. It's Mother's Day. It's Father's Day. It's ball games. It's all kinds of summer and spring activities that are right here, right now, and you're looking to make life easy. That's why Smokehouse Barbecue needs to be the first call you make to cater all of your events. If you're throwing a graduation party this year, let Smokehouse Barbecue cater. Whether you're going to do it at your house, whether you're going to do it at a park, whether you want to even do it at one of the 3 Smokehouse locations in one of their banquet rooms, they're there to help you make that graduation party as smooth and as easy as possible. And they're going to make it delicious, too, with their burnt ends, their baby back ribs, their hickory pit beans that cook under the brisket for the final few hours to give them a flavor that nobody else can match. And, of course, you want to do it right. Get those Cajun butter chicken wings, the best wings you will ever eat in the entire free world with that homemade ranch dressing. And if you're dining in, make sure you try the barbecue nachos. And I love the pulled chicken sandwich right now. It is phenomenal. So visit Smokehouse Barbecue at one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com, where you can place all of your catering orders for your graduation parties and your events that are coming up this spring. smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's gonna finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's Comedians and Sketchers Getting Comfortable, presented by Hands-Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
Hey, I'm Bobby Slayton, and I'm here with my pal, comedian, and Skechers ambassador, Mr. Howie Mandel.
Why did it take so long to invent something as amazing as slip-ins? I know it seems simple, but it took Skechers to invent a better pair of shoes.
Yep, with Skechers slip-ins, you just step it and go. You don't have to touch your shoes. And by the way, slip-ins are for the whole family, men, women, and kids. In all your favorite Skechers styles, find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Drafting the perfect roster means getting the right balance of power and performance. Season after season, Ego Outdoor Power Equipment has drafted a truly innovative lineup of cordless tools that has the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Plus, the same battery powers all Ego essentials, from mowers and blowers to chainsaws and trimmers. It's all power, zero compromise. Check out the Ego lineup of spring must-have tools at egopowerplus.com.
The world is turning yellow with dandelions, and that means it's time for Weed and Feed. As step 2 of GrassPad's idiot-proof lawn care program, Weed and Feed is designed to control broadleaf weeds and feed the lawn. Throw it down on a wet lawn and let it sit on the leaf for 48 hours before mowing or watering. Keep the yard looking great this spring and get your Weed and Feed down today.
Come on down to the grass pad. The grass pad's high on grass.
It's the spring sales event at Rob Sight Ford, and I'm here with the man himself, Rob Sight. Rob, you already stole the spotlight. Now what are you trying to take?
Just your attention, Kevin, and maybe a few trade-ins. Now, we've got up to $14,000 off new Fords with employee pricing, plus our own dealer discount.
$14,000. That's hotter than your Sunday barbecue.
Exactly. And unlike your burgers, these deals won't dry out. We've got hard-to-find inventory, huge trade-in values, and our non-commissioned sales team makes everything so easy.
No pressure, just real help. Even I'll admit it, it's the best place in Kansas City to buy a car, and I don't hand out compliments lightly, or seconds.
That's a fact. And don't forget, we're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer on Google. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 reviews, and 0 grill marks.
All right, Rob, I'll give it to you, man. You're cooking up some real value over there.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit robsight.com. But hurry, these deals are sizzling and inventory's moving fast.
And tell him Rob sent you. No guarantees, but he might throw in a hot dog.
Today, expect showers and thunderstorms with a high of 76.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
All right, diving right back into it here on 96.5 The Fan on Fescoe and Dusty. Joined now by the host of The Drive, Carrington Harrison.
How much you think you're getting from the casino in Topeka to perform, though, Carrington?
Bob, thanks a lot for inviting me. Mac has been trying to have me come on for quite some time, and I said, you know what, right before the draft seems like the perfect time to join you guys' show.
Yeah, man.
We were talking about Flo Rida before.
Florida,
yeah. Yeah, I said he's performing at the White Sox game. Soon you're like, oh, he's performing at the Royals game, too. I'm like, oh, so he's doing the ballpark circuit.
Yes, he is going to be in Kansas City. I'm very excited to see him. Bob, if you could only listen to Flo Rida or Pitbull for the rest of your life, which one would you pick?
Boy, both are on my workout list. Probably Flo Rida.
You're getting gains to Pitbull?
I'm not. Pitbull.
Gasoline.
It's easy to work out to, when you're running, 3-4 miles a day.
Well,
it's
that makes perfect sense.
You got to get something to kind of block. I can't listen to sports radio.
I thought Pitbull moved to Barrett Sports Media. So I have a question for you because I asked this for Jay Binkley. Yes or no, Shedeur Sanders in the first round?
I'm starting to trend no.
In the first round now,
I'm starting to trend no. I feel like because of supply and demand for quarterbacks that used to be second-round picks, Derek Carr, Andy Dalton. Like, we kind of knew like there was a range that they could go, that I feel like now, because the contracts have gotten so big, those guys have been pushed up to the late first round. The thing that would just scare me about Shedeur is the physicals just don't blow you away. He's not incredibly fast. He's not big. He doesn't have great arm strength. It's like, what are you drafting? If you're drafting for intangibles, that's not a guy I'm using the 9th overall pick on. So I think there's some questions there. I mean, I think the smart money is probably on the back half of the first round, because I think the value of having that option for the 5th year is normally what pushes teams in that. It's just such a big financial windfall. But in actuality, he's probably worthy of like the 43rd overall pick.
Yeah, but I think it also goes back to desperation, too. Teams are so desperate because, as Denny has said for 25 or 30 years, however long I've known him, baseball doesn't need to expand. It needs to contract because there's just not enough good starting pitchers to fill out rosters right now. And that's kind of where I am with the quarterbacks in the NFL. Maybe we just need to get rid of teams because there's not enough good quarterbacks right now in this league. And so people get desperate. And if there's somebody out there that may be good, people are going to fall all over themselves to take that guy in the first round, as opposed to taking a better player. Like Cam Ward going number 1 overall, I think Abdul Carter is by far the best player in the draft, but Tennessee's so desperate to need a quarterback, they're willing to take a lesser player at that position of need, and that sets you back even further, I think.
I think there's like a lot of things off of what you just said. I would say, number one, I think we have seen quarterback play diminish, as I think offensive line play is worse now than it was 10, 15 years ago. I also think like we have convinced ourselves that a position that touches the ball 300 times is not important and interchangeable. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I think what's going to hurt Shedeur is most of the teams in the league either have their quarterback or feel like they have their quarterback. Like, what teams going into this thing do you say they absolutely got to get a quarterback? There's like maybe 4 teams. The Giants have to get one.
Do they, though? Because you could say they got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. They don't need to get one this year.
So if you're putting the Giants in that category, if you're putting the Jets in that category with Justin Fields, like the teams that need a quarterback, it's like Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. Tennessee has the number 1 overall pick. I think that's what's going to hurt him more than anything is most of the teams that you would think in theory are kind of right there on that fringe, like a quarterback like Indianapolis and Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's the answer, but I also just don't think that they're using a high
Daniel
resource.
Jones, man.
I just don't think they're using a high resource at quarterback. So I think this is one of those weird years where A, it's not a great quarterback class, and B, even for the teams that like are desperate for needing a quarterback, there just aren't that many of them, so I just don't think that's going to push the market up.
See, I just think Pittsburgh's the only one that needs a quarterback because they literally don't have a quarterback, right? Cleveland, they just signed Joe Flacco. Who was the other team? Oh, you still have Will Levis down there in Nashville if you want to use that. Like, Pittsburgh literally has nobody to play the quarterback position for them. I think they're the only one that truly needs to draft a quarterback.
I don't know why Cleveland just doesn't go get Kirk Cousins. It just makes all the sense.
Because you have Joe Flacco, though. I don't understand that one.
I guess for me with Kirk Cousins, though, like you have Kevin Stefanski. They got the relationship back to Minnesota. He's not going to start in Atlanta. It just, all of the leaves to me just seem to be in the direction of Kirk Cousins to be traded to the Cleveland Browns.
Not a lot of talk yet, just a lot of smoke screens, but I give you the number, over or under 3.5 trades in the first round.
Under. I don't think there's many teams that are willing to trade up in this. I also don't know if there's not a lot of teams that are not willing to trade up, then obviously there's not a lot of teams that are willing to trade down. I just don't think there are a lot of players in this draft class that people feel like they have to go get this year. I think it's a big indication of how they already feel about this draft class. There hasn't been a single trade yet. Normally, somebody has moved from 7 to 2 in this year's draft class, and we all know who they want to go get. I just think it's going to be kind of hard for a team at 12 to justify, all right, well, we're at 21, we want to move up to 12. Like, who are you moving up to 12 to go get? So, yeah, I think the first round's going to be pretty uneventful this year. I just don't think this is the offseason for it.
Do you think that nobody's moving because the talent level just isn't worth moving for? Like, you don't really have that true, like, oh, my God, we've got to have this guy to change our franchise?
Yeah, I think what hurts this draft class is, I would say, the most important positions on the field, there are very few prime superstar kind of players. if quarterback is the most important position on the field, Cam Ward is a good prospect, but probably would have been the 5th or 6th quarterback taken last year. If Shador's the 2nd quarterback taken and we're debating if he's a first-round pick or not, that tells you where we are on quarterback. I'm with you on Abdul Carter. I think he's the best pass rusher in this draft class. Who's the 2nd best pass rusher in this draft class? I would say there's a pretty big gap between what I think Abdul Carter can be and whoever you think that player is. Tackle this year.
Yeah.
You don't think there's that franchise left tackle. There's not that Joe Alt this year. There's not that Penei Sewell this year. So some of the premier positions that you would trade a future first-round pick for, or you would package your 21st overall, your 2nd-round pick to move up to 12, I just don't know what position you're moving up to get them. I actually think there's only 3 stars in this draft class. I think it's Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, and Ashton Genty. Those are the only 3 superstar prospects.
Right.
Now, other great players might emerge from this draft class for sure.
Right, there'll be a Travis Kelce in the 3rd round, Tyreek Hill 5th round type of player,
Yeah, for sure. Or like the year that Eric Fisher was the number 1 overall pick. DeAndre Hopkins was the 21st overall pick. Ended up being a really good wide receiver in the league. There's a possibility that those players exist in this. But heading into it, there are only 3 stars in this class, and I just think this class is just uneventful. Now, next year's class, I think, has a chance to be really good, but this year's class just isn't that.
Yeah, we're talking to Carrington Harrison of The Drive and getting his NFL Draft insight, which all these NFL Draft interviews are brought to you by Powell Exteriors, J&M Displays, Salvation Army. We had a conversation earlier. Do the Chiefs need to draft a tight end this year?
That's a great question.
Because do you think Travis is washed?
I'll tell you what, Carrington, Travis is washed. You're right, Rob. So, Salvador Perez is 2.
I'm not saying that about Salvador Perez. I want to point that out. You said that. I did not say that about Salvador Perez.
That was Rob's take, right?
I'm going to go with no. I don't think they need to draft a tight end. I have been preaching this offseason that they need to be younger and more explosive. I would say the biggest disagreement that I've had with our text line is I think the text line blames the offensive line for why they lost the Super Bowl. I don't blame the offensive line. That's the same offensive line. They won 7 consecutive games with that same offensive line. I think some of it was just coaching. I think Andy is just... I think we saw in the first Super Bowl they lost. I think Andy is slow to make the necessary adjustments to help the offensive line.
I think Andy was shell-shocked on that Super Bowl Sunday in New Orleans. Right away, they were beat from the first play of the game.
I think their core infrastructure... I've never seen Mahomes have that kind of body language for as long as he had in the game.
Right.
I don't know where Kelsey's head was in the game. It was just a really weird thing. I do think that this offense, I maybe think that fans have this part wrong. I think explosive plays come from explosive weapons around your quarterback. That I understand. The Chiefs have the coach, the Chiefs have the quarterback, but they've also gotten worse at running back since Patrick Mahomes has been here. They've gotten worse at wide receivers since he's gotten here.
Well, I think overall they're much better at wide receiver. They don't have the number 1 guy, right? The guy who can't, be an adult in life. They don't have that type of guy playing wide receiver. But overall, core wide receiver, I think their group is much better than it was when you just had Tyreek Hill running around.
Yeah, but I mean, when Mahomes started, when he won his first MVP, they had one of the 5 best running backs in the league. Yeah. They had a prime Travis Kelce, a prime Tyreek Hill, and at that case, Sammy Watkins is your 4th option. It's a really good fourth option now in hindsight. So I want to see the Chiefs get back to having explosive weapons and explosive players. I've been banging the drum for running back. The Chiefs don't have a single running back that's under contract for the 2026 season. It's time to start over in that room.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. I'm going to jump in, and I'm sorry, but just talking to some people over the last couple of weeks, they're ready to get back to 2018 style of offense. So if that tells you anything going into the draft, I don't know if it does or it doesn't, but I know they're itching to get back to that kind of that bombs away style,
Well, I mean, if they're itching to do that, then I would say they need to draft a running back, I would say, in the first 3 rounds. I think that's where I think we are going to see multiple 1,000-yard rushers come out of this year's running back class. I think this running back class is actually, I think it's the best group of position. If running back was a premier position in the league, the first round would be super exciting because 6 or 7 of them would come off the board. But people just find running back to be pretty interchangeable. I also want to see them go get another wide receiver. To me, if you're kind of banking on Hollywood Brown staying healthy this year, Rashee Rice coming off of ACL, what does that look like this season? I want to see them just pack more explosiveness. So tight end, I mean, I wouldn't be against if they got a tight end, but I want to see them take either 63 or 66. I want to see them take a running back. And I'm fine with them taking a mid-round flyer, a 4th-round flyer on a wide receiver. That's kind of the one thing that Veach has never done. Like, you look at kind of other teams in the league that, like, they'll spend that 4th or 5th round pick, and maybe that guy doesn't turn out to be a star, but he ends up being a pretty productive D-Rob, DeMarcus Robinson kind of. He can have 500, 600 yards receiving. They've never drafted that player since Brett Veach has been here. I like to see them pick up that player.
Do you actually think they're going to pick at 63 and 66, or do you think that's going to end up being a package where they trade those picks?
I think they make one of the picks and probably move down with one of the other picks. Like, I could see them using the 2nd round pick, and then they try to turn 66 into there's a team that wants to move up to the top of the 3rd round. They move back from 66 to 71. They try to pick up, like, this team doesn't have a 5th or a 6th round pick.
Right.
So, like, they kind of have a void where they're not going to make a selection. I could see them trying to use one of those picks to try to pick up a couple of picks in that range just to give themselves more chances at the dartboard.
What do you think they do at 31?
I think they're going to go offensive line if it's available. I think that they are in a very unique position where they can kind of look ahead to next year. There isn't any position at 31 that they need to draft a starter for this upcoming season.
Right.
Like, not a single position. Like, I mean, it'd be great if they got a pass rusher at 31, but I don't think they're finding a pass rusher at 31 that you think starts for them week 1 of the season. So I think they're in a position that they can start to look ahead to, what are we going to do next year when Jawan Taylor is gone? Are we going to spend a lot of money to refill that right tackle position? Or are we going to draft Josh Connerly today, have him redshirt for this upcoming season, and then next season, best case scenario is Jalen Moore ends up working out, Kingsley Suamata-Eo works out, you've already got your center and your right guard, and now you got a 23-year-old right tackle that's been in your system for a year. All of your offensive linemen are under the age of 30. That's a really good offensive line that you kind of built.
I love that theory. I'm like getting excited thinking about that theory because that is pretty good. But I would go the opposite route for you. I think they're going to go defensive line because Chris Jones being up there at 31 years old. And you know they always draft a year ahead, which is the Jawan Taylor thing as well. But I think you go defensive line because it is so loaded. I think like top 30 of the top 100 people are saying are defensive linemen, right? So I would go that route just because I know eventually Chris Jones is going to be one that falls off the books and you're going to need to replace him too. So same theory, just different side of the ball.
Yeah, my question would be, are they drafting a defensive end or a defensive tackle? Because I think they mean two completely different things.
Yeah.
To your point about D-tackle, if they're drafting somebody to put alongside Chris Jones and you get that push from the interior, if they're drafting another defensive end in the first round, it tells me everything I need to know about Felix Anudike-Uzomah. It tells me everything I need to know. Like in that situation, when does that guy get on the field? Because you got a Minahu, you got George Karlaftis, you have to factor in this first round pick that you just got factors into the mix in some capacity. Like, we kind of gave Felix that redshirt year when he first got drafted. He essentially got 2 redshirt years. We're in the middle of his contract. At this point, there's no reason to think they're picking up his 5th-year option. You haven't played enough to even consider them picking it up. We're in the middle of it. It's time to see what he can do, or they drafted a nice feel-good story that was really cool for the draft, and they got to light the fireworks, but now it's time to really address this need of they need another defensive end on the opposite side of George Karlaftis.
See, I'd go tackle. That's where I would go on this one. I think they're kind of weak on the interior of the defensive line right now.
Who do you think is under the biggest spotlight for the draft team-wise?
It's a great question.
Gracias.
Golly, I'm trying to think of who that is.
I think Baltimore's up there.
No, I don't think it's Baltimore. And I think Baltimore is kind of one of those teams that they're going to make 1 or 2 picks and you're thinking, that's going to work. You know, like a couple years ago, they drafted Patrick Queen. They drafted Kyle Hamilton. And you're like, how did the league let the Ravens get Kyle Hamilton? Like, you know this is going to work for them.
The league let him get Lamar, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who that is. You know what? I will give you one interesting. I think it's the Cowboys, actually. Okay. I think the Cowboys have one dynamic skill position player, and that's CeeDee Lamb. I think they have to come away with at least 2 other ones.
A lot of smoke from Dallas yesterday, too, but trades are going to happen, you know?
So, like, if you're them and you put McMillan on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb, and then you grab one of those running backs in the middle tiers, like, all right, you kind of got, hey, Dak's coming back healthy. You got a decent offensive line. You improve the weapons and the pieces around them. So, yeah, like, thinking on the fly to answer your question, I actually think it's Dallas. I think Dallas Dallas needs to draft impact offensive starters, skill position-wise. I think it's them.
I think the Giants have the worst draft pick in the history of drafts this year for a number of different reasons. Number one, there's nobody there. I mean, you'll probably get Abdul Carter, but you need a quarterback. But you're also allowing the people that you're going to fire after this season to run this draft, right? So how are they supposed to go into this draft as a head coach GM knowing most likely they're getting fired after this season? So that not only sets your franchise back for this year, but it sets your franchise back for the future, because that GM's got to be looking at it going, I ain't drafting for the future here. I'm drafting for the right now. And that means you can miss good players that could potentially help you in the future.
I mean, so isn't the play then, to go with what you're saying then, isn't the play, if you know that your job is on the line, you take Abdul Carter with the 3rd overall pick, and then you try to get back into the first round and take Shedeur Sanders. Because the best thing you can do, or you draft Jackson Dart, the best thing that you can do to keep your job if you're the Giants is you need to win 7 games this year with a young quarterback with some promise that people feel good about.
But is that going to play with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston both being there on the roster now? See, it just gets progressively worse when you peel back the onion on that.
Or what you could, I mean, I don't think Jameis really factors into it that much. They're not paying Jameis anything. It's like a 2-year, $8 million deal. They can get out of the one. Or, I mean, you basically do what Pittsburgh did last year, where Pittsburgh had Justin Fields and they had Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson starts the year. Let's say you start 3-3. You need a spark now all of a sudden. You put Shedeur Sanders in or Jackson Dart. You finish with a little bit of promise there. I mean, that's probably it. I am with you. It does kind of feel like the Giants coaching staff is in the same place that the Bears were last year. That you kind of realize, like, all right, Matt, this thing needs to get going in the first 10 weeks of the season, or you are not going to be around for too much longer. And then ultimately they went in a different direction. It does feel like Brian Daboll, if you're like pinpointing right now, who is the most likely coach to get fired first, he's near the top of the list.
We asked a question earlier before we get you out of here. If you could see any artist that's no longer alive, who would it be?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that was the lead on the text line.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Is there anybody, there's another possible answer?
We're white guys. So,
Okay.
we're going to be like.
So is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson's a great answer. I went with Frank Sinatra.
Was he white?
Yeah, I don't think I would go see Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
said Prince.
Yeah, I would go see Mike.
You would get laid after Prince.
Maybe.
Michael Jackson, I don't know.
I might get pancakes too.
What do you got coming up on the drive today?
I have absolutely no idea.
Love it.
Good. That's a
Thank you.
perfect answer. Way to go, Josh, with that question.
I have absolutely no idea.
Somebody on the text line did say, Carrington, is this the earliest you've been up in quite some time?
No, I'm up by
It's
now.
9:00 in the morning. I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm up by
he's a
now.
human.
Yeah, no, this is just my normal. This is like my relaxed time of the day.
This is when you sew?
No, sometimes. I kind of listen to podcasts during this time. I'm like cleaning up. I'm like getting ready. Rob and I normally talk around 10:30. Rob kind of gives me the.
Carrington, who do you think is washed today? I don't know, Rob. Who do you think is washed?
I can't believe I came on here.
Let's go with Salvador Perez today. He's looking washed, Carrington. All right, Rob, fine. Him and Kelsey together at the John Knox Village next.
I would like to say, and no one will give me credit for this, and that's perfectly fine. I was the first one to call it with Travis Kelsey. The first one. I saw it before everybody else saw it. It was so obvious.
I don't want to be first to that party.
I'm proud to be first to the party. I was the first one to see it. Like, hey, I don't know. This guy looks a little different to me.
He almost had 1,000 yards last year.
No, they didn't have anybody else to throw it to for the first 7 weeks of the season. When's the last time you see Travis Kelsey run past somebody?
Never. He always shimmies right and goes left.
Yeah, he's a ram. He used to jump over people and look athletic.
Yeah, true. Well, time it waits for no man.
Right now, he looks like Gronk on the Buccaneers.
When are you calling Mahomes washed? 2 years?
No, he's got way more time than that.
Did you say he's Gronk on the Bucks? So we got another Super Bowl in
that's who Kelsey is right now. Kelsey's Gronk on the. That's who he is.
That's great. Well, hey man, we appreciate the time. Thanks for the
Love
insight, and we'll see what the Chiefs do at 31 at the landing.
Of course, man. I appreciate you guys.
No doubt about it. Carrington Henderson of The Drive, of course, all draft-related interviews here on 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by PAL Exteriors, J&M Displays, and the Salvation Army. There's a baseball game being played at a racetrack in Mac's Old Town of Tennessee. We'll explain on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Spring is here, and our house desperately needs the experts at Powell Exteriors Casey for siding, windows, entry doors, beautiful decks, patio covers, roofs, and more. Get ready for summer at powellcasey.com.
Do you know a coach who goes above and beyond?
The Royals, the CU and the Major Leagues Foundation, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City are recognizing those impactful men and women. Nominate your high school coach at royals.com/coaches with character.
Hey, I'm Dusty Likens. I want to tell you about the partnership we got right now with Surfside Cocktails, Vodka, Tea, and Lemonade. Got a couple golf balls. Took them out to the course yesterday. There's a few in the rough if you find one. That's where your boy was a couple times. But also, Surfside is available for you in liquor stores at the K all season long. It's fantastic. They're delicious, and they pair perfectly with a day at the ballpark or a day on the golf course. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, zero bubbles, zero carbonation. It's easy to sip and enjoy while you're at the game or on the greens. Ask for it at your local bars, liquor stores. You must be 21 years of age, and please drink responsibly.
Gear up, race fans. Sioux Cup IndyCar Race Weekend is roaring into Iowa Speedway July 11th to the 13th, featuring the only NTT IndyCar Series doubleheader weekend on the 2025 schedule. Sioux Cup IndyCar Race Weekend has become one of the most anticipated and action-packed events in racing. Tickets are going fast. Score yours today and get ready to feel the rush at the fastest short track on the planet. Visit IndyCar@Iowa.com for tickets. Sioux Cup IndyCar Race Weekend at Iowa Speedway, the ultimate summer racing event.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Drafting the perfect roster means getting the right balance of power and performance. Season after season, Ego Outdoor Power Equipment has drafted a truly innovative lineup of cordless tools that has the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Plus, the same battery powers all Ego essentials, from mowers and blowers to chainsaws and trimmers. It's all power, zero compromise. Check out the Ego lineup of spring must-have tools at egopowerplus.com.
Ring the bell! We've done it again! Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875% fixed. While other lenders are talking about high interest rates, we're dropping rates. And we can get it done for you in as little as 14 days. Golden Oak Lending has just secured several $1 million that we can offer you as fixed-rate mortgages for 4.875%. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. It's fast and easy. Our debt consolidation customers save an average of $1,104 every month. And at Golden Oak, you never pay for your appraisal up front. Lock in this incredible 4.875% rate now before it's too late and say goodbye to those high-interest credit card rates. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
What 80s band is this?
FAU Fast Wagon.
Good Lord.
Spook Light.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Spook Light.
Okay.
So you're reading real names of these fake bands that
I wish I
Spectre
was making
created.
these up.
Did he make these on, what was that app that used to be out there that people played all the time? Garage Band?
Yep.
Spectre cooking this stuff up in the Northland and sending it to us to play?
Better believe it. Mac, I don't know if you do this or not, but the Braves and the Reds are going to play a regular season game inside Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee.
Awesome.
That is going to be dope.
Have you seen the setup?
No.
Oh,
Sick.
it looks cool, man.
I look this up.
And if you really want to go to the concert beforehand, it's Tim McGraw.
Wow. That's a great
That's
concert.
cool.
Yeah. That's a way to do it, man.
Okay.
Oh, you were dogging?
I was.
Oh, no, that's a cool concert for
Tim
that.
McGraw would be
For
cool.
Tennessee?
For Tennessee, yeah. For Bristol, that
For the
sort
Braves,
of,
I
like
feel
that
like you'd
fits.
have to have Kenny Chesney there.
Oh, God. Talk about overplayed.
He's
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Tennessee, though.
yeah. But he's got,
Every song sounds the same.
He's selling
It
out.
would be awesome.
I know, he sells
Kenny
out everything,
Chesney
but-
in Tennessee.
And
would
he's a
be
Tennessee
legit.
guy.
Yep.
He's Tennessee Chesney.
It's true.
Tennis Chesney.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
What about
that'd be
Dolly
cool.
Parton? She's Miss Tennessee.
It's true. We love Dolly Parton.
Still.
How could you not? I mean, she's
course.
like the greatest thing to ever happen to Tennessee.
No, if you don't like Dolly Parton, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
honestly, she's an
just
amazing
a
human.
human being that
Yes.
you should all strive to be
Yeah,
like.
seriously.
She's awesome. I've been to Dollywood.
I hope random, but I hope she's doing okay. The recent passing of her
Oh,
husband.
of course. I know it
and
sucks,
that must be hard.
right? I think about it like I tell my wife this all the time. Like, if anything ever happened, man, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd handle. Maybe when you're married 60 years and you're in your 80s, it's a little bit, but maybe it's
Maybe it's
not.
even harder.
It's even harder, right?
Because all your life you're like, wait, what?
I mean, you think about what happened with, what's his name out there in New Mexico?
Yes,
Hackman.
thank you.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, dying together after a long marriage is probably the way you want to go. I don't want to be without you anymore.
No.
This also, recent article, MASN released a state-of-the-art streaming service for fans to stream O's and Nats games, but mistakenly charged some fans $8,999 instead of $89.99. You imagine getting that report?
Which, by the way, that brings up those are the last two teams I think to be on the streaming, if you will. I think those are the last two teams that joined the party.
We made a mistake with a decimal.
Yeah, big one. I'd be livid.
$8,999 instead of $89.99.
That's a big. How do I say that? Difference. Big difference in price. But so that now everybody's on streaming and whatnot. And what did you say? The WrestleMania event the other night, largest audience ever for WrestleMania,
124,000
right?
in attendance.
In attendance, and how many people stream that thing? We don't know the number yet. But can we be done with the I don't know where to find things, streaming, and all people complaining about streaming? People are finding it. 25 million people watch an NFL playoff game. 100 million people watch WrestleMania, on this thing. You see every damn TV streaming show that you want to see. Like, enough from the sports fans about the streaming side of things. This is where we are. Either adapt and adjust or get left behind. I'm tired of hearing from sports fans that I can't find this or the streaming this or the streaming that. I mean, were people like this when cable came out? Does anybody know? Because I'm not old enough, but were people complaining? I'm sure they were.
on the TV now. I want to read it. Speaking of stuff you might be tired of hearing about, NFL rumors update.
Never tired of NFL rumors.
Okay. Several NFL teams picking in the top 10 open to trading down.
Of course they are. And several teams picking in the bottom 10 are looking to trade up. I mean, I thought it was so funny yesterday that Peter Schrager, trying to indoctrinate himself at ESPN, they're dropping now Schrager bombs.
Stolen.
Yesterday, his Schrager bomb was that the Browns and Giants are both receiving phone calls, to which Josina Anderson, God love her, responds back and goes, this happens every year. Like these insiders put this stuff out there that they think is information. It's not. It's made up. Anybody can say anything at any point in time, and it's all copacetic to the draft.
Like Jerry Jones saying that the Cowboys are working on pretty substantive trades regarding players.
What word was that he used?
Substantive?
Substantive.
Because I keep reading it, and I'm like,
I was having the same issue.
Right? So I'm not the only one.
I'm glad that you're having...
SUBSTANTIVE.
Substantive?
Should it be we're
Substantial.
substantial?
Should be substantial.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
or
he doesn't.
substantive trade. I mean, like, I don't know what word he was using.
I don't know what he's using.
So he's claiming there's going to be trades out there, and they're involved in some substantial trade talks right now.
And he offered no specifics.
Because there are none.
Other than saying that they are taking calls with teams.
So other than Micah Parsons, who's not under contract technically, who else? A CD Lamb available?
Oh, my.
Ain't nobody wanting Dak Prescott.
Probably not.
So who else you got down there, Jarrah?
Jarrah?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who was having an issue with that word.
Right.
Man. I was what the hell is
Samsonite,
that?
I was way off.
And then his son contradicts him yesterday. Like you asked the other day about, we were talking about are sports better if certain teams are winning, and the Knicks are the only answer to that question for every sports league out there. The NBA is better when the Knicks win. No other sport, in my opinion anyway, is better when a certain team wins. You could make the case for the Yankees if you wanted to, right?
Skankies.
But for you brought up the Cowboys. To me, the NFL is a much better place when that is a dumpster fire and things are going wrong and Jerry's talking and the son's contradicting him and they don't have a coach. Like, that's the drama for me. Dallas being bad.
We asked you earlier on the Fescoe and Dusty poll question on a Wednesday, what position should the Chiefs draft in the first round? Running back, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver. 307 votes are in. The leader is still defensive tackle at 41.7%, offensive tackle at 40.4%, wide receiver 13.4%, and running back 4.6%. Guys, it's Wednesday, 1 day from the draft. We'll do it again tomorrow. What are the Chiefs doing at 31?
I want to say trading out.
Okay.
It's kind of where I'm leaning right now. I think they're going to trade down.
I think we're going to be there getting ready for pick 31, and I think they end up trading.
I think they are too.
Unanimous decision. I want to disagree, but I just think they're going to load up in the second and the
All right,
third.
I'll say trade up then.
That'd be more exciting, obviously.
I think they're going to load
The
up.
guy in the hard hat's going to be mad at us.
I think they're loading up in the second and third round. Friday night's the night for Chiefs fans. Like, that's the night of the draft. You ain't got to work on, well, most people don't have to work on Saturday. Friday night, draft starts at like 6, I think, not 7. So, again, I think Friday's going to be the night. I think Friday's where you get to see Veach do his work. That's like your fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, down 3 Mahomes moment. That's where Veach steps in, is that moment on Friday night. That's where I'm at least excited as well. But be excited because the fan draft party is tomorrow at the Landing of Liberty starting at 6 p.m. Bink and Unicero. They'll be on the show tomorrow from 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. With us, our crew. The draft contest is back again. $965 plus an autographed Juwan Taylor helmet. As a prize, 1 point for player drafted in the first round, 3 points. If you get it right, player on right team, your sheet must be turned into inspector before the first pick on the clock. Hold on, Dusty. And the entire fan staff will be in attendance. So tomorrow, pick 31. See what they do. Trade up, trade down, take somebody else. You hear the music. You know Cody Gold and Drew are coming up next 10 to 2, but don't forget, go do something nice for somebody today. Could change their day, week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay cool, stay safe, and stay kind. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty
What the hell's wrong with your station?
on Kansas City.